And we are live! Hi, everybody! Jane, V, Voltaire, good to see, glad to have you. Oh, did I label it for 6 instead of 5:30? My bad. Try to stay past 5 a.m., but the flesh is weak. Oh, sorry, Jane. Hopefully, kept on the side. V, Voltaire, good to see, glad to have you. Hey, guys. Live letter. Patch 7.2. Currently, they're just doing sound setup, so it's just Foxconn talking some sound setup stuff and talking about YouTube and what have you. Nothing new for the next bit. Zach, good to see you, glad to have you. Friendly reminder, this is going to be patch 7.2. This is part 1. There will not be a trailer. Should look forward to part 2 sometime probably around second week of March. It could be a little earlier, a week later, a week earlier, but you definitely want to look for that. That's when we'll see the next patch, so the next live letter. So that'll be in about a month or so. Zach, good to see, glad to have you. DePaul, good to see, glad to have you. Ray, good to see you, glad to have you. Astoria, good to see, glad to have you. Flora, good to see, glad to have you. How y'all doing? I will be reading off the unofficial translations. I believe it'll be Iluna Minori doing it over on the official Final Fantasy 14, or yeah, the Final Fantasy 14 Discord. We'll be going over those, and we'll definitely be covering as we go. The things to expect. Typically, honestly, it's usually the same. I would expect whatever we saw in 7.1 and those kind of updates, with some variety, with the fact that we'll likely be seeing things around cosmic exploration, some bits about cosmic exploration, some bits about Occult Crescent and all that. Well, the vegetation behind them, I don't know, but it's kind of nice. I mean, it kind of makes me think of, you know, Dawn Trail in an adventure. You got your little Grahas, you got your Catchy, your Kate Sith, you got your Carbuncle, you got some Moogles, you got a Kryl, you got a Tataru. You got Emmett Selk. I don't know what that is. Oh, hey, there's a Yoshi P. Yeah, right now they are just doing sounds. This is not the start. They're mainly just talking about the lighting right now. Can I get an audio check on my end, and can I get an audio check for what they're saying? Remember, today's will not be fully translated into English. So we'll be going off of the unofficial translations and whatever I catch with my own ear. Oh, hey, I share this. I got the same seat as them. Hey, Foxconn's on healer. I wonder if Yoshi P's on DPS. I got my tank right here. How y'all doing? Gotta wake up in an hour for class. Yippee. Oof. Morning to you all. Yeah, morning. Infinite, good to glad to have you. Hello, people. I was about to post an announcement, but turns out it starts in out it starts. Yeah, Infinite, that was my bad. I usually have it set up for half an hour early, and I apparently did it wrong. If you want to put out the announcement, go for it. Speaking of which, we have our new first full video out in quite a bit of time. Lyrical Lore Oblivion, if you want to check it out. We can hear you well. The video is silent. Cool. The video should be mostly silent right now, to avoid crossover of my audio and theirs. However, I'm gonna desktop. Okay, I have it, so now you should be able to hear it. Let me know if it's my voice and their voices are clashing. Yeah, they're still just talking about lighting right now. Apparently makes Yoshi P look like old by a lot, which I don't think, honestly, actually, he looks better rested right now. He looks better rested right now than I feel like I saw him last live letter before that, which honestly is surprising with how many bugs we've been having in the patches. Sounds good? Cool.
確かに。外夜ですからね。テレビ。我々の真正面に皆さんのコメントを見るでかいモニターがあってですね。それが
How y'all feeling?
窓に反射している。
Y'all excited for 7.2?
うん。今日は皆さんお待ちかね。パッチ7.2コンテンツ特集パート1をお送りいたします。
Yes, so this is going to be patch 7.2 part 1. Yoshi P does have quite a few slides you'll see in his hands right now. But yeah, we will just be spending basically the next 25 minutes ramping up and either talking about Final Fantasy stuff or going over what to expect. Again, there will not be a trailer today. Do not expect one. Very. That cliffhanger was hellish. Yeah, Flora. I got a lot of thoughts. I'm suspecting we're gonna see that the Mezzo Terminal was an epitaph for holding on to the original Fiend's soul, and that's how we're seeing it come back up. Epitaph, cenotaph, not epitaph. Today's future patch 7.2. Since this part, there's no need for since this is part 1, there's no need for in-game footage. So yeah, so don't expect any kind of in-game footage. We probably won't see the raid fight until part 2, and then we will probably see some part of the raid series in the first fight, the same way we saw with Black Cat or with most of the Pandemonium fights. Like where we saw Carbon Goals or P1 or P9. Because friendly reminder, this is the 0.2 patch, so this will also be the release of the next raid series, whereas 0.3 will be the next Alliance raid series. This is a major packs. 2 new contents will come for patch 7.2. So based off of 2 new contents, what I suspect that means is that they're saying Occult Crescent and Cosmic Exploration. They're currently trying to go gold, do master checking for patch 7.2, which means that they're doing basically all their final QA checks and everything.
そうなんですよ。俺はダメなんです。そう配信カラオケは別にいいんだけど配信に載せてはいけないとかいろいろあるんですよね。
And good to glad to have you. Check it out. Thank you, Infinite. Is the Relic stuff 7.2 or 0.3? I forget. It will be when we get Occult Crescent, which I suspect will probably be on the 0.2. And then Cosmic, if what they're saying right now is correct, Cosmic Exploration would be on the 0.25, and Occult would be on the 0.2, or vice versa. So I would expect whenever we get the Occult Crescent is when we will get the Relic. If we looked at past examples, right? Let me. We looked at past examples, right? The closest we can look for exploration zones would be Zadnor and Bosnia, and then obviously Eureka. If we look at Eureka, Animos. Man, it's been so long since Animos was 0.25, right? Yeah, Animos was 0.25, which I would assume. My expectation is Occult Crescent, the release cadence of the Occult Crescent and Shades Triangle and all that is going to be more in line with Eureka than Bosnia Sadnor, seeing as it's going to be more than 2 islands. Yeah, Bosnia was 0.3, yes, but there was also a lead-up thing into Bosnia Flora because there was the whole going back into memory stuff. Munji, good to go to have you. Yeah, I think Bosnia specifically was 0.35, if I'm not mistaken.
だからまあ別に配信じゃなくても、どっか集まってオフ会でもいい。
Yeah, 0.35. Yeah. Which is interesting because the 2 exploration zones historically were both 0.5s, which means that we probably might expect Occult Crescents to be on the 0.5. However, if we're getting both Cosmic Exploration and Occult Crescent in this one patch, I would assume that it might actually come sooner. Memoria was Zeria was 0.1. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right, Flora. The Sid memory stuff was fun. Yes, honestly, and Paul, it has one of the coolest visuals in 14, in my opinion, and it sucks that you can't revisit it, which is the dreamscape Bosnia city as it's being destroyed. Like, that is one of the most gorgeous things I think they've ever made, and it's the fact that you cannot revisit it is just stupid. Stupid. You should be able to use explore that. Actually, I haven't tried. New Game Plus does New Game Plus allow you to revisit the first part of the Bosnia storyline? Because at least then you have that as an option. Also, I don't want to guarantee it, but we may see we may end up seeing today the announcement, if not the title of the trial series if we get one. Because remember, Dawn Trail is like Stormblood, Heavensward, and Shadowbringers, where the 0.1 to 0.3 is the epilogue or the actual finale of the 0.0, whereas A Realm Reborn and Endwalker were not like that. And in those cases, those also had trial series, right? Endwalker and A Realm Reborn had their trials as part of the story, but we should expect there to probably be a trial series, and then also a EX on the 0.3. Hydra, good to go to have you. Bosnia is one of my favorite side stories in the game, and it tears me open that we'll probably never see Evilise again. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that there's so much to do with Volnane and all of that. I can't imagine that we don't see it. I mean, obviously, yeah, they got to work with Matsuno or whatever if they do it, but honestly, yeah. Honestly, I feel like part of the reason that we don't see as many collaborations with like, for instance, like Nomura content and stuff is the kind of headaches that working with the limitations that Matsuno has put on them. Yeah, that area is so cool. Yeah, I've been through a lot of stuff in the past month. Don't want to get into it, but hopefully I'm gonna be back in the same game again. Well, it's great. It'll be great to have you back, Hydra. I hope you're doing better, man.
スクリーンショットを盛りだくさんご
Okay.
用意してるので、まあさらさらあんまりそのスクリーンショット
According to Yoshi-P, this might be potentially a quicker stream, so about 2 hours, which, yeah, usually part 1's 2.5 hours is a pretty safe bet.
やっていけば。
そうです。それこそ考察したい皆さん
そうなんですよ。21時には消えるのを許してっていらっしゃる方がいますね。
なるほど。
何が始まろうというのかね。
そうですね。
まあ知ってるけど。
But yeah, cosmic exploration. If you guys have ever done the the diadem and the Asgardian restoration, that should be your template as an expectation. However, it will be different. One of which being that there's basically going to be a moon base. I don't know if any of you guys haven't seen the concept art for all of that. But it seems like we're going to be launching from one of the seas, one of the mare in from the moon, and then going out into the universe to gather resources, establish outposts on other stars. Yeah, I really hope we get a new trial series. I feel like the Trials of Endwalker MSQ was a huge mistake on their part. God, I always feel like such a contrarian, Anna, but like I disagree only because I think making I think the story that they wanted to tell with the Archfiends worked better tying it directly to the Void and making it work like that. But I understand why some people might miss having a side story in the way that people like having 4 lords, the weapons, or Warring Triad, right? I actually think in the confines of a Realm Reborn and Endwalker, when they don't have a point, when they end on their point O effectively, and their patch content is its own kind of story unto itself. The trials work well, but I think the point 3 being a climax with its own EX and then having side trial series works well. And I think Anna, the other thing, Anna, is we had 3 expansions in a row where we had a trial series, so having it integrated like that was definitely, I think, a lot of fun for having climactic moments within the confines of the narrative for most of the patches, for at least what, patch 2, let's see, so 5 we had Zeromus, 4 we had Golbez, 3 we had Rubicante, 2 we had Barbaricia. Yeah, so for the majority of them. I hope it's not completely modeled on restoration, since that content is basically inaccessible right now. What do you mean, Flora? I just did all of restoration. All of it's accessible. What do you mean inaccessible? Yeah, from how they spoke about cosmic... I'm almost done with my pterodactyl now. I just spent the past, couple months working on it. From how they spoke about cosmic exploration, it seems to focus on exploring remnants of societies which survived the Song of Oblivion. Yeah, though that speculation stuff I'm remembering months ago. The Hydra, it's not so much we know for sure that that's the case, but it may be stars under which suffered from the Song of Oblivion, but it also may be stars where new life is seeded. The concept art is less clear, but hopefully, I mean, it'd be really cool if that was the case. I really wish they didn't use Quetzalcoatl and Shadowbringers. It would have been cool for the trial series to be based on 4 Polka. It would mirror the 4 lords too. Oh, that's interesting, Paul. I mean, to be fair, one really baseline expectation that would make a lot of sense would just be being about Vidral, especially exploring into Vidral, which would continue to mirror the point that is made in the confines of the lore and story about the juxtaposition of between what is the difference between an Auspice and a Vidral, when they also seem to fundamentally share similar forms of creation. The restoration is complete. The fates and collective rebuilding stuff is gone. All you have now is turn. Sure. Okay. I follow what you mean, Flora. Yeah, so the thing is that the moon base being instanced is going to be... Basically, cosmic exploration from everything they have shown effectively solves for the problem of missing out on the experience of the time. I will say, having done Ishgardian Restoration at the time, Flora, I don't think you're really missing a lot, but to your point, you know, it kind of sucks that players don't get to be a part of Idleshire being reconstructed. Most players don't even realize that Idleshire, when they arrive now, is not what Idleshire looked like when people first got there in Heavensward, or Mordona. When Mordona used to be way more broken down, but no one gets to experience that if you're not there anymore. What I would liken it more to, Flora, would be look to Doman Restoration, where it's more probably more instanced, and where the planets themselves will be of a period of time, but the actual building of the base or something may be actually be instanced. Great, good to see, glad to have you. I believe it's morning for you. Yeah, it's 5:46 a.m., so it's a pretty reasonable time.
羨ましい。
また今晩ぐらいか
Can't
ら
get the
so
build-up
you
achievements from
can't
Ishgard
use
Restoration, so the
ne,
titles
kata-
from are now accessible, meaning that it's similar to some of the achievements with
Yuki
indents, but now all can see. They said cosmetics would be phases that have been split up into instances to prevent the issue.
ね、
Yes.
ここ数年ね。
Wait,
ちょ
there
っと
was a more donor restoration?
寂しい
If you want to call it that, in the
歴史
point,
だった
yeah, in the point
こ
X.
ともあって、いや、こんなにはいいんだよって多分なってると思うんですけど、スキーやボーダーはもうみんな
まあそうでしょうね
歓喜でしょ。
もうちょっとね
But that was during like a Realm Reborn.
ほどほどが一番
Watching,
いいのにもうなかなか
yeah, Yoshi P and Foxconn are just shooting the shit. Like right now, they're not. I'm
ね
keeping an eye on to see if there's any
最近お世話になってる
bits or bob.
方いるんですけど、
ええ
そのこの業界
はい
でも今インスタがさ脚本だらけになってて
Yeah, they're literally just talking about anime movies.
そうだからみんな平日
It's more like they change more Dono with every patch, no player inputs or anything. Yeah, yeah, that's Crepe, you're right. That's a better way to put it. It's not exactly more. That's kind of why I hesitate. It's not exactly more Dono
ニュースで
restoration.
やってましたけど
More just the pure fact that people
雪
were
降りすぎて中止の
like
危機みたいな
that's people were flocking to Revenant's Toll,
ああ
was
それ
causing it to be
北海道でも昔あ
restored.
ったよね札幌雪まつりでも
Yeah, the more Dono you see now. Here, let me. I can pull up
雪が
some
かぶりすぎ
images
たの
maybe.
でもうなんか凹凸が全部なくなっちゃって
2.0
雪の塊やんみたいな
Revenant
いいんですよ
Toll.
全部あれ
手が
除雪しないとねせっかくの作品にならないので、なんか結構一日閉じて除雪やってみたいなこと中止はきついねそれね。
無事に
So
開催されるといい
this
です
is
ね
now.
そうですね。ただまあモルモルにしても私にしても
This is what it used to look like.
ですんで。
Obviously, this is what it looks like
おばち
now.
は雪かきの大変さ
What it
は
used to
よ
look
く
like.
存じております。
What it looks like
Yeah.
now.
で言ってはいけない一言ね。
Uh,
どうせまた積もるんだから
all
今や
these
っても
different phases.
ラッシュ
It used to have like all the crystals and stuff breaking out. It basically was like an actual ruin looking like 1.0,
下がさどう
or looking more like it did in 1.0. Well, it didn't look like it did in
あれ
1.0, but
最
you get
悪
the idea.
の煽りになってしまうんでダメなんですよ。ダメ
Levi, good to
ど
go.
んなに
How you doing?
上から積もるのが分かってい
I
て
still
も
wish you could rewind it.
Hey,
Hope
that's
one day,
the
maybe
Arcadian
even 7 years from now, we get the
Arcadian.
Edelshire, return to that for the new
Yeah.
players of being progressively as they went through the patches. I think I would really love that Hydra. I wouldn't bet money on it.
なんで
Yeah, it's good to see you. Glad to have you. When did this start? This
西日本の
started about 15 minutes ago, and the official thing will be starting in 10 minutes.
でもちなみに
That's so sick. It actually must have been cool to play through it back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look. I also, not to overly defend Ishgard Restoration in terms of like, I have like very little patience for like timed exclusive titles and achievements.
あまり体感がないところなんですけど
I have heard reasonable arguments that are
そ
understandable.
のシーズンで
I find it not worth the case. Sinrix, good to see you. Glad to have you. Yeah, it's been a bit.
まあ
How you
観
doing?
光業としてまあ
Ryan.
そういうところは
Good to see you. Glad to have you.
大変ではあるんですけど
But that said, the majority of what actually was done in Ishgard Restoration is still present. The farming the diadem and the turning in and the quests was kind of what there was. And also, I'd point out that if you do the quest line for Ishgardian Restoration, you still have the like oh god, what is it? Not the
今回の日本のパウダーを
I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this.
来年からまたとんでもないことになるので
味を占めるのではない
そうですね
ということですね
What is it? My brain keeps saying the locks, but that's obviously Stormblood. The map. What is the lower region? Not pillars. Pillars, firmament.
いいことかなと
One of you guys will tell me. But the lower section actually does have people change it up and fix it and work on it. So like you still actually do affect the map with
あ
your
見かけ
Guardian
た吉
Restoration.
田を見かけた折に
Relic, good to see you. Glad to
いや
have
吉
you.
田を見かけ
You
た
were
折
excited
に
after seeing the picture of FF14 Japan Twitter
感
account.
じるなと
あな
I
る
have
ほど
not seen the FF14
早めにご
Twitter
こう
account. Let's
そう
see.
ですね
確かに
こういただけますと
それ大事ですお互いに認識した距離感は大
そうで
事ですすね
ねにこやかに
そうしましょう
はいびっくりする
That's the English.
さあ本番まで10分となりましたので
はいじゃあ
テストは大体いいかな
はいタバコを吸ってまいります
はい
はい
じゃあ、URL の方は今ご覧のそのままで放送も途切れません。2人戻させていただきますけれども、
はい
放送途切れず、20時頃になったら再開いたしますので、また本番第
I don't
85
see
回
any
プロデュー
image,
スされ
so
たら
unless there was something that was accidentally
はい
posted earlier
そ
or
れでは一旦
something,
失
I'm
礼
not
し
sure
ま
what
す。
you
ま
mean.
た後ほどお会いしましょう。
Okay, they're heading out now for waiting up. So we've got 10 minutes until we will see all the sound is figured out. We've got 10 minutes. Reggie, good to see you. Glad to have you. Overall, doing pretty good. Moving back to Florida next month. In nearly 3 years, but with life as always. Up as late as all. Okay, good. The fates, yeah. The broom. Thank you, Levi. Yes, the broom. The broom is does actually change if you do all the quest lines still for Guardian Restorations. For me, it irks me a bit that achievements aren't accessible as 14 normally really good about FOMO aside from the old PvP stuff. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, Hydra. I will say I at least appreciate that broadly the achievement collecting community tends to treat any achievement that is timed as like not part of like the race to finishing all achievements. And I have lately in my free time been on a bent of working on all achievements. So yeah. And I will tell you, you know, there are a lot of achievements in this game. A lot of them are quite fun. A lot of them are a good time. Some of them are a oh man, like honestly, you think the diadem's bad, and then you see how many accursed horde you have to get. It was posted. What was posted last night, Relish? I mean, can you just tell us what it is? What did the Highborn say to the low down in response to their complaints? Okay, Broomer. God damn it, Des. We haven't even started the live letter yet. Arcadian registration was where people learned that one, live fixes can happen while we're still in game, and two, be careful what you wish for when Yoshi P says, "Are you sure?" Yeah. The leave achievement. Honestly, leave achievement's not that bad though, Ryan, because like that's just timed. Like the leave achievement is less bad than like for instance the custom delivery achievement, where you have to spend like 26 weeks per custom delivery to finish out the like 150 or whatever it is turn-ins. Something like that. No, because it can't be, because if it's 150 you can only do 6 a week. So 6 a week. Yeah. It really is a curse. I just got done with Dawntrail and Endwalker 1000 S ranks in me. I'm so tired. Paul, oh man, congrats to you. That is a real feat. I've been working on that bit by bit. I'm currently working on Of the Endless Hunt, but I'm only plinking away at it, you know, whenever I happen to be around for it. I need to get in another cross-world link shell because the one I'm in only does like half of the hunt trans. I will get it once in Future Queen one day, but I despise Aetherpool farming. Yeah. There's a picture of Alexandria Castle Deep in Everkeep. Okay, well, honestly, Relish, that's not surprising because literally you can catch it on the live streams we do. I've been speculating that the ruins of Alexandria Castle was either going to be a dungeon or a variant dungeon or present some way, particularly in the narrative, in the catacombs of Everkeep. Like, that was something I've just been waiting for them to do. And also just because of Rakaznar from 11 and the fact that Rakaznar ingots and all the ore and stuff shows up in Heritage Found. I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhat themed after that. Still waiting for those GC updates, maybe one day. The updates. Oh, the Grand Company updates. Well, I mean, they've specifically said what we'll get, right? We're never gonna get it unless they have a specific reason they think they should update it for to an effect, right? So, yeah. Alexandria Castle is going to be a boss. Yeah. Alexandria 9 has wings. Alexandria 9 has wings. Yeah. One achievement I'm actively working towards is the Bosnia field records because I need Fran's bike like I need air to breathe. Flora, I don't know if Ray is around, but she unceasingly mocks me with the fact that she's gotten that bike, I believe, twice now, and I still have not gotten it once. Despite the fact that I have been farming for it for like 3 years because I've been missing one note for like more than 3 years. When did was this 0.35 2019 plus 6 months May, so 20. I've been farming that for almost 5 years. Yeah, Ray's gotten it twice. I haven't gotten it once, and I've been farming it for 5 years. Yukio, good to see, glad to have you. Those RNG notes are so brutal. My only problem with the notes is that there's no pity mechanic. Literally, it could be 999 gold coins or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, but there should be a pity mechanic of some kind for all of the notes. It would literally fix the problem completely. It doesn't help that, like, yes, certain notes are guaranteed from doing duels, but trying to get into a duel is a fucking experience, and then also you better watch all the guides 1,000 times and make sure you have the right actions, because otherwise you're gonna have a whole hell of a time. John, good to see, glad to have you. I'm very slowly grinding out a bunch of the resistance weapons. Well, the nice thing about the resistance weapons, John, is that you can take all of the quests, right? So I have all the quests for the resistance weapons, and I just ambiently am like playing through stuff and have accrued like half of all the materials I need just from doing that. And that's the nice thing on those ones. Yeah, hopefully it'll be really interesting to see. I hope they do the system that they did for the resistant weapons for the relics in 7.x, because having it be either doing like Occult Crescent or doing, I don't know, Stormblood Fates or whatever it is, like, and all the other different things per thing would be great. You know, if they tied one of the stages to getting stuff from Eureka Orthos as one of the options you could do, the same way that they did with Palace of the Dead. Oh, how we looking? We looking good. Okay. Bit rate's good. Let's see if we can. Let's bump it up a little bit. Also, I'm sure I'm gonna be fine, but if the stream happens to go out, it's because I'm in the middle of a snowstorm. Pro tip, grind duels on materia. You have instances on your own. You can just reset them to do one duel over and over again. True, Crate, but also you have to spawn the duel in the first place without anyone, and that's annoying. But you're right. So long as there's a new glam they're adding, I'll come. Yeah. Yeah. Have low needs Yukio, and then you can't never be disappointed. Other relic weapon gets a boost in occult fields like Eureka weapons. I always liked that aspect. Nice shells, by the way. Thank you, Yukio. I built them myself. Just no RNG stats, please. Definitely no RNG. I am torn, Paul, because on the one hand, I definitely, particularly if you like the reason they did that, right, is harkening back to the 11 style. I'm torn. I like, on the one hand, I like that the relics have that effect, right? But then it also kind of makes using the relic anytime you're going to go in there mandatory, which is kind of a pain. The same way that, like, you have to keep your cuirass of whatever or your Eurekan gear in your inventory at any time you want to go do Eureka, for all those bonuses. So it's like, yeah, but also, yeah. Caitlin, good to see, glad to have you. I've arrived to make unreasonable demands. What are your unreasonable demands? I will say, if we get Cosmic Exploration, if we're getting Cosmic Exploration, the beginning of a trial series, and Occult Crescent all in this patch, which I thought we weren't. I thought at least one of those was going to be, I thought at least Occult or Exploration was going to be 0.3, but based on their comments, maybe not. Your new video made me cry in school, Elio. Yes! Well, I mean, yes! Asterisk, I'm glad it made you feel emotions. That was the aim and goal of making the video. I'm sorry it made you cry in the middle of school. Be safe, Elio. Also, there's weirdly thematic to the video you made today. It's true. It is true. For those who don't know, I put out my first, like, actual video non-short for the first time in a while because I'd been basically off from video editing for about 10 months because of health reasons. But I put out Lyrical Lore Oblivion today. So if you want to see Ysael's story and all the juicy goodness around the lyrics in the song Oblivion, go check it out. I put a lot more effort than I should have into a lot of the shots in that video. Always enjoyed the Lyrical Lore videos. Good relish. Good. Give me the glowy weapons now, damn it. Yeah. My unreasonable demands is I have no demands. There you go, Caleb. Like my girlfriend, I'm used to disappoint. God damn it, Death. I have a full Bosnian set for every roll in my armory chest is wailing in pain. Yeah, exactly, Flora, you get it. One of the things they teach in game develop is minimize randomness. Okay, minimize randomness is a bad lesson. Minimize randomness to the effect that you seek based off of your game design is a good lesson. And I say this because you want a delta of randomness in most things. Not all things. Sometimes you want things to be purely deterministic, right? Like a boss, like, what's a good example of this? Oh, hey, we're starting. We'll talk about it some other time.
第85回 Final Fantasy XIV プロデューサーレターライブのお時間です。
Yeah, hopefully we'll get glowy weapons soon, Anna. Okay, welcome to the 85th producer letter live. It is Miuna who will be doing seems like the translations. Thank you very much.
放送開始と同時にブラインドが落ちてまいりまして
自動的に降ります。
Drop a link in your community server.
止められないという
Yes.
ことですので、申し訳ございません。改めまして吉田です。よろしくお願いします。
Yes, again, over on the Final Fantasy XIV Discord, official, it's technically official, but anyways, Final Fantasy XIV Discord, Iluna and Miuna usually are doing the translations, and they are wonderful and awesome. Thank you so much for doing those, as I do not think I would be able to catch like 80% of what they're saying. Fast. Fiend plushie. Oh, is that what it is in the background? No.
Maybe.
Last minute gamble. Trial series or part of the MSQ? Trial series. Definitely trial series. Because it's 0.1.3 and then 0.4.5 crepe, it's definitely going to be trial series. Well, I believe it will be trial series. We will see a 0.3 EX though, or a 0.3 trial, as per usual. Just on time, 8 p.m. The lines in the background started going down. Yoshi P, I realized we can just start the stream at 1 minute in to avoid blinds, but then people ask if I went for a smoke again.
まあ今日はパート1ということなので、まあパッチ7.2全体を通じてどんなものが公開されていくかというところをまあお話ししていくんですけど、まあ今まさに開発追い込みに入っていて、あとはもうほとんど組み
We will have part 1 for the 7.2 content today, and it's a lot. It's juicy. You can see from his stack that he's got a thick piece of papers. Also remember, this is part 1. There will not be a trailer. There will not be a trailer. And there will be multiple pieces of things that we may get some stuff about, but not all of it. Particularly things like maybe the trial series, where we might get a name drop, but nothing, and an image, but nothing else.
まあ例式だったりとか。
Yoshi P says most things are finished. We are just debugging now, which honestly bodes well that they're about probably 5 to 6 weeks out from the patch drop. Because heaven knows the 0.0 and the 0.1 for them have been very buggy. For most games, not very buggy at all. But for them, man, seeing floating geometry multiple times in a patch was wild. Also, no gameplay footage for today, probably. It's hard to be certain if they was joking, but I'm pretty sure he was serious. Yeah, don't expect any gameplay footage. QA and debugging is very important, John, and should be given the appropriate amount of time to do so. We've also finished testing the normal modes of the battle content. We've still got Sabbath left to do with the minor adjustments, so starting next week, I will be in the you're allowed to play FF14 at work mode. Says Yoshi P.
吉田さんの14三昧、ずるい、いいな、などなど、羨ましがる声。
I suspect the reason that we've been having QA issues is probably they're trying to either train up new people or implement some new systems.
没年と
他にないですよ。デバッグコマンドっていうものを
Is that a leyline hoodie? It is a leyline hoodie.
コンテンツもその前回フィードバックした。
Okay, yeah, no in-game footage today. And yeah, Chad is jealous of Yoshi P that he gets to play 14 at work. But I will tell you firsthand, as someone who will spend hours a day editing footage and capturing footage and stuff in 14, it's a very different experience to play for pleasure versus playing, like, fighting the same boss on loop over and over and over to check on every job to check very specific, you know, balance and what have you.
お仕事ですから。お仕事ですから。お、手伝おうかというコメントございます。
Looked at my own QA test. Yeah.
いらっしゃいいらっしゃい。そうです。ぜひ履歴書の方を
採用ページの方ご覧いただいて、
お送りいただければ前向きに検討いたします。はい。はい。
Again, there will be no English translations while they're doing it. There will only be what I'm reading off, and I will be giving you everything as it comes. Fighting the boss again and again, yeah. Oh, it looks like we've got the 7.2 arts coming up. Or at least that's what it looked like. Ooh! Hey, it's Sphinx, the evil Sphinx. Ooh, this is interesting. That almost like makes me think of like Levin sickness, like cure or help, like someone getting some sort of treatment. Here we got the Warrior of Light, Wuklamat, Sphinx. This is definitely even Sphinx. Looks like Sphinx got. I know that it's just Sphinx normal, like Sphinx colored eyes, but it looks like Sphinx got Norded. Yoshi says, I can understand people getting a Persona feeling from this. Seekers of Eternity. Ooh. Which, actually, as its name probably makes a lot of sense, right? Because if you think about it, Seekers of Eternity, you would think about the people who want to live, avoid death, live forever, the Neo regulators and what have you. Also, what is this up here? And is that... That is interesting. Also, what's the over-under that 0.3? The trial in 0.3 is going to be Necron. Like 100%, right? That's a smug Sphinx, yeah. Feels 5.4, sure, yeah. Evil Sphinx in all its toe was her having a dark color. Who's the bulk up person? We don't know. You know who it makes me think of though is the child that we meet in Solution 9. That is sick with love and sickness. I don't think that's who it's supposed to be, but that's what it makes me think of. The other possibility is that it's someone tied to the raid. And this has to do with the fact, you know, like the ethereal corruption that they suffer from due to their transformations. Yoshipi says, very different atmosphere from what we usually, but that's intended. Yoshipi says, what you see on those monitors is not all limited to the MSQ. Yeah. So there is non-MSQ things here. Presumably, at least a couple of them are tied to the raid. That looks like that might be a challenger. It almost looks like she's got chocobo feathers or phoenix feathers. That'd be funny. Dude, if one of the challengers was chocobo, that'd be amazing. The aesthetic of the Kiara is absolutely fire, yeah. I hope we get Necron and Kuja and expect, yeah. Is this part of the story? The warrior light will turn the Wi-Fi back on and living memory will be restored. No, I mean, like, that's not going to happen mainly because, I mean, living memory might be turned back on if it's converted to a place for the living, but it's not going to be turned back on for the dead. It's not going to be turned back on for the endless and have them consume the life energies of the universe. Yeah, Choco Mog, yeah. Hegemon after hair appointment. This is making me think that more of the Endless are somehow backed up somewhere with that title. Definitely some of the Endless are almost certainly backed up by Preservation, Paul. The question is where. I wouldn't be surprised if part of Preservation is backed up at somewhere in the base of Everkeep, for instance. Jojo, thank you for the 100 SEK. I don't know what that is. Love the channel. You guys do for the great content. Thank you so much. That is very, very kind of you. Funds go towards upping the background and continuing to do service. So thank you very much. The scenario team came up with the idea of showing multiple monitors in the artwork. I thought it was a good idea, but no one considered the effort the artwork team would have to be putting into this. The initial sketch also didn't have enough displays, and we needed Hiroshi somewhere. Hiroshi, how they refer to the Warrior of Light. Yep. Oh, okay. 2025, late March. Okay, called it. It was always going to be the second or third week. The only question was it going to be first week of April? But yeah. So, the live letter will be probably the second week of March. Yeah, expect the part 2 of the live letter probably be second. Wait, no Chocobos. It's Saz's Chocobo. Oh, that would be amazing. Chocobo Kalita, let's go. Maybe this character would advocate for turning into an endless by virtue of being able to cure their ailment. Oh, infinite. That's a great idea. The weakness of the flesh. Okay, are we getting the Adeptus Mechanicus over here? What if in the middle of the MSQ a major character just comes back with bangs and it's never discussed? You never know. You never know. Get our bun boy Aaronville with some bangs. John, what was it? Point 3 or point 4? What was that in reference to? Late March release. Just before this, we'll release patch 7.1.18 or 7.18. This will be released on the 25th of February. Engage the Linkus on Messiah. Urianje with bangs, Caw. Yeah, I guess you gotta have you. That'd be a mood. When we fight Necron, point 3. It'll be point 3. It's always point 3. You have Seed of Sacrifice in point 3. You have Yotsuyu Tsukiyomi in point 3. You have Thor Final Steps of Faith in point 3. It will always be tied to the climax of the MSQ. The point 1 to point 3 will be the finale of Dawn Trail. And the point 4, point 5 will be the lead up into point 8 to 8.0.
まあその前にちょっとやっぱり前回告知というかアナウンスも出させていただいたんですが、ゲーム内の
pops up from Warhammer 40k. Yeah, there you go, Yuki. We're in the middle of MSQ, major character. Yeah. Voltaire, thank you for your membership and your 3 months. Pick your favorite emo and shoot it on out. When the point 7.18 comes out, we will lift restrictions at Echo for weekly tomes and Savage. So if you want to start farming up your gear for Savages and stuff, that's a good time to do it. I do think they should definitely start basically lifting the requirement for Savage and maybe even tomes at like the 0.5. But, well, they already used Ozma, so we won't be seeing that. To be fair, they did use Ozma twice.
Internal ID and third party tool stuff. はい、お願いします。
Why is Kate Sith emitting light? I think there's just a light, an LED behind him. Yoshi P, we've learned that there was a tool that was accessing account IDs, and while I made comments on the lodestone, I would like to address it on the stream as well. Woo! I was hoping that they would address it. I suspected that there would be some addressing of current issues of like that. You carry first part books. How about Ozma the Third? I mean, it's possible. I definitely think the point 3 will be Necron. Just think from a thematic standpoint, Necron makes so much sense to adapt. So yeah. So he's talking. So if you guys don't know, I won't go over into it, but basically there was
some illegal third-party tool that is revealing some internal ID, which is underneath our packet, and then which reads the reading that
I'm gonna go back real quick so you guys can hear it.
Some
So
we are aware that there is some illegal third-party tool that is revealing some internal ID, which is underneath our packet, and then which reads reading that ID will let you confirm which character is belonging to which account ID. So
basically it makes it easier for people to stalk people.
How the connection of each characters under the same account. And then the one thing we want to have you feel safe is, whenever you read that internal ID, you will never reach to some personal information or the billing information. So please please do not concern about that. But however, we are seriously taking it because it is not good to read that internal connection, because even when we have a blacklist, useful blacklist function, that utilizing that internal ID will revealing the connection of each characters on the same account, and which is not we are not very comfortable about it.
Okay, so important takeaway there is the information being given is not personal. You're not in danger necessarily, and they're taking it seriously and going to address it. So short term, don't panic too much. Long term, they're going to address it. I don't see getting Ozma chaotic due to us already having it in BA. Yeah, I don't think there's no way we get Ozma chaotic. I think you get Diablo's chaotic. Right now at current, I would be surprised based on the fact that they went straight to Cloud of Darkness if they don't just do the final third fight for chaotics for the next bit. Golbu? Gobu, have they discussed any criticisms with the content droughts? Not yet, Gobu, but mainly because I think they're not going to, because that's mainly because this is always how the point 1 is, frankly, and I think that their addressing of the content drought is going to be, frankly, when they release the point 2 and all the content in it. The point 1 is always like this. I think a lot of the people who are newer to 14, particularly coming in late Shadowbringers or early Endwalker, are just experiencing the point 1 in its totality for the first time. Okay, so we've learned that there was a tool that was accessing account IDs that made comment on lodestones. I want to address the stream as well. So there was a tool that gathered information about account IDs, collected them, and matched them against our other alt characters on that user's account. I want to be clear in confirming that this information does not go beyond that and no personal information was accessed. To get to the conclusion, obviously we as a dev team are not ignoring this. I cannot say how far we're going, but with patch 7.2, we are taking steps to counteract this. There you go. Who said Canada have to pull from the traditional alliance raid since they just need a big boss? I think they have a lot of things they could take from.
So let me briefly explain what it
Anna,
is, but
I would.
We introduced the new blacklist.
I'm gonna give it a 1% possibility that they will use bosses that are not from currently existing alliance raids anytime in the next 4 years. That'll be my guess, because. Yeah.
The sub characters on the same account. That was a long request, and we finally implemented with patch 7.0.
Yeah, they're just further talking about the way in which they're solving this problem on technical level. Stormlook Chaotic will make you do a Common Core math. Look, just You think that's bad, Des? Then don't wait for her inflorescence. Shadowbringers and Chaotic is going to be crazy. Easier because they already have models and assets. Yeah, exactly, Ka. Yeah. What armor would Diablos get considering we already have it? Probably something around Skaha or Void Sense or you know, Void Arc, you know, probably something like that. I mean, also, Diablos isn't anything like, well, I guess other than Cloud of Darkness being a Void Sense, Diablos armor being for Cloud of Darkness was weird, so, you know, I think it could just be anything, frankly.
Yeah, so I mean, the fundamental...
I don't see us getting, yeah, he's trying so hard, bless him, yeah. Sidolphus, Chaotic, yeah, John, I've heard that from a lot of people. The near incentives better be good. I mean, hey, if amount, you get the actual flight armor, and you could potentially get weapons. And armor, I mean, there's plenty of armor like Kaine's outfit and stuff, right? Diable Void Arc gear. Yeah. How about a big brawl with all the Garlean and the Gades in the same vein as Judge's fight from FF12? I don't think that would work well for a Chaotic Alliance raid, particularly, John.
I mean,
yeah.
Potentially, you can see
Yoshi P, there were stalker issues that we were made aware of, and part of the measures we took against that was to implement this new blacklist system to have every character under an account on the blacklist. Unfortunately, this allowed tools to gather more information about their users and characters. Imagine the armor since there always one chaotic raid ahead. I like that idea. Yeah. Next, good to see, glad to have you. Shadowbringers probably had so much content because they just used assets from both near games Type 0. Well, but okay, so two things. One, they didn't use assets from near game because they actually recreated all those assets. You actually like pull the assets, they're completely different. They reused the design, but they had to basically replicate it. They couldn't just like insert the models from near because they're too high polygon compared to what 14 uses. At least in most cases. But the thing, and also having to develop all that to work in 14's engine was a feat unto itself, I'll tell you what. Oh, the other thing I'll point out is that for Shadowbringers, you want the expansion to have the most content. It was Stormblood, by far and away.
Blocking one character will also block the old character under the same account. I mean, to make it happen.
There was we will improve on this starting with patch 7.2. Yoshi P, I am very disappointed this kind of tool exists, but we will be improving the system going forward.
You can, if you use the tool maliciously, I mean, you can use the...
Guys, don't be dumbasses. Don't create or use tools that allow you to not only cyberstalk people, but access information you absolutely shouldn't be. I mean, to be fair, don't use mods, but that is a more complicated subject than I'm willing to step into. According to Yoshi P, don't use mods. Wait, but Diable Void Arc gear is already in the game. I was about to say, okay, I'm not crazy. I thought it might be. From Ink of Blackest Night, I summoned. Different engine, yeah. Shadowbringers got hit hard by the pandemic. Honestly, Endwalker... Shadowbringers... The thing is that Shadowbringers, we only hit the pandemic right in like patch 5.55. It's really Endwalker 6.0 that suffered the hardest. Because like, if I'm not mistaken... Here, let me... And I am reading all the translations as they are coming. No, okay, so yeah, it's the 0.5 and the 0.4 got hit because it was 2020. No, okay, no, you're right. It is Shadowbringers. My sense of time just got absolutely bored during the pandemic.
Not familiar with what we are talking about now, up until now.
But riot mods were taken away. Yeah, exactly.
Need to be worried too much. So I mean, because learning the very single bit of the detail.
Bozia got snuffed. Some no alliance, so on.
I mean,
no alliance.
Quite a long time, and also it is.
We got alliance raid. I'm assuming you mean something else, Hydra.
So I mean,
sorry, not alliance. Allied.
Yeah, again, you don't need to be...
We got Allied Society. But also, yeah, well, the thing is, we don't know that Bozia got snuffed. It really feels like there was supposed to be a third map for Bozia, for all of that. 100% on board with the theory that is, but we don't know that there was supposed to be a third map. Yeah. Third-party tool is such a great insult. Yeah. Let me restate that. I want Diable Void Arc gear without undieable ugly bits. Okay. I've been playing 14 for 10 years and I have never used a third-party tool. Good. Congratulations to you.
We are taking major. And then
there are no mods on busing, say. Take it as it is.
Thank you very much.
はい。では、
There are some good quality of life tools, but stalking third-party tools is where I draw the line. I mean, to be fair, Goboot, that's like a pretty safe place to draw the line, right? The thing is also what counts as quality of life versus what counts as untenable becomes a personal divide. Are we talking about Square Enix's stance? Because Square Enix stance is just don't use them at all, period. You know? Becomes very, very, like, what your personal line is and where that's drawn gets, you know, hedgy real quick. Okay, all that said, Yoshi P, I might have gave the impression that you shouldn't care if you weren't aware of this, but let me rephrase. I don't want you to worry. We are taking steps. And as usual, please do not use plugins. Now for the content, let's get into 7.2. So this is why we need, honestly, more live letters might be helpful, because Yoshi P actually getting to address it adds a human edge that I don't think comes across always when he writes posts for the Lodestone. Hey, Yashtola's back, which makes sense, because honestly, I think Yashtola's probably going to have a bigger role in upcoming patches, even in the 0.4 and 5. Particularly with the key becoming a more prominent element and the crossing between worlds becoming a more fundamental thing. Joke's on you, they don't use party tools because I play on console because PCs are too expensive here. There you go. Pro strats max. Well, I'm good to see, glad to have you. Just a reminder, by literal definition of the TOS Discord is a third-party tool. Just keep that in mind. Yeah. I'm gonna guess that's Sphene. Although that could actually be Sphene from the Meso terminal that arrived. Sphenes, yeah. I wonder if we really travel to another shard as we get closer to 8.0. That'll be awesome. Well, we still have 4, 8, and 11, right? Because there was 4, 8, 9, and 11. We know that the Unlost World is the 9th reflection. So that's 4, 8, and 11. Any of those could be traveled to. It's not clear if the fight in Interphos is those shards, those reflections that we're seeing. Traveling to them will definitely be a thing. It's going to be a more and more an important thing because the key is going to become a fundamental part of interdimensional travel. Y'shtola still needs to go see her boyfriend. Going back to the first and connecting people across reflections is probably going to be an active part of the narrative. I mean, they've been establishing it as part of her narrative for a long time. Yoshi P, I want you to pay attention to the facial expressions this time. There is a lot. Yoshi P says, reminds me of Asahi when talking about the Sphene, the Sphene face. Or sorry, no. I think he's talking about this person. I'm guessing that this person is tied to preservation. I'm guessing that is because we haven't had a preservation established by any meaningful amount as of yet. And having them like plugged into the system and plugged into Everkeep's actual system, whether as an endless or as a person suffering, if they suffer from Levin sickness, would be interesting. Yoshi P, please know that there is no Bahamut in it. It's just the usual, you can't fit Bahamut in there joke. Another shard of Hermes. Yeah. Twinko Show. Yeah, you know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. Interesting ethereal ley lines, electrope. This could either be the star, but I'm assuming this is actually supposed to be a soul. So we think a soul, ethereal ley line. That ethereal ley line could be a summoning or a craft creation, which again would make sense if they were creating an entity like. Hey, Allied Society Mamelja! Let's go. Okay, so now we have Kozumaoka and Yakta L, which means that the final one's probably going to be in Jacques Taral. But also I'm sad, because this almost means certainly we're not getting Allied Society Moblin, which hurts my soul. This will not be until the 0.5. This will not be until 7.25, almost certainly. I hope you all can distinguish these races visually by now. Yeah, of course, that's a top row. And this is a Buniwa. Oh, this is interesting. The Allied Societies, if I'm not mistaken, are always on the 0.5. No giant allied society, yeah. The Okui, probably not Hydra. I mean, possible, but then all of the allied societies would be in Yak Taral, and that's weird, in my opinion. It's really that Mameljar and allied societies since they're kind of the most prominent race in Taral. I mean, I feel like they're actually not, if you actually counted the amount of people, if you like look in Tuliolal, but they're so much more distinctive than the other races that they, like, we notice them a lot more. I'd be curious if anyone wants to go through Tuliolal and actually count them. Oh, okay. So this actually makes a lot of sense. We're dealing with the Dopro mainly, which actually makes sense since we got plenty of Hubigo and Buniloa lore. The fact that I was wondering if we were going to dive deeper into the Dopro. So this is rad. This is actually this is if they're going to do Mammal Jaw for Allied Society, which is a good choice. Making it be about Dopro is going to make it more zesty and give us some more interesting stuff. And also we may have the What You Makey story tie into that too, about the Dopro. What tribe is this for? This is for the Mammal Jaw, but specifically it looks like primarily with the Dopro, which are they're the Beast Keepers, basically. Hey, Hildebrand, let's go. Charlene attempting to help Mamuk. Oh, Relish, good call. Yeah, with the soil. Yeah, almost certainly that would make sense. Finally got a weird mount, that's going to be a mount they sell. Yeah, that would make sense, John. Yeah. Is the thing the Dopro ride already a mount? If not, yeah, no, the weirds are not a mount yet, Anna, so that's probably what we'll get. It's going to be pick up selling their unique plants for that kind that are just survives in Haraish environment that we proposed in 7.0. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, infinite, yeah. That's okay, though. Hildebrand, yeah. I think some of the Besieged event, like 11, would be cool. For which content? Because we already had combat, so Dopro is going to be what? Probably. I always forget the order. It's gonna be mining or gathering. Oh, just in general? Yeah, open world content like that isn't usually as big. If you're gonna see that, Kaylin, you're probably gonna see that in somewhere like Occult Crescent. Hey, it's Ray Ray's girl. Ray Ray's girl. Gathering, maybe? Yeah, let's see. Endwalker Gathering was last, though, because crafting, because it was Arcosodra, Loprit, Omicron. Like, gathering or crafting, either of those would work. I just can't remember, was it Kakern or Katari, then Dwarf? Or was it Dwarf to Katari? Yoshi B, since we're finally done with introductions, we get to the start of the main story of the Dawn Trail Hildebrand adventure. As usual, it's a bit over the top, so we hope you enjoy it. In what kind of scene will a filter like this be applied? Hey, Corn Servant! We're getting further Corn Servant quests. Yukio, if you want to level your fish, just go do ocean fishing. You'll get an inordinate amount of XP really fast. New Corn Servant side quest. Let's fucking go. I must feed people in their tummies! I love you, Corn Servant. I mean, he is a good boy. He just wants to help everyone. He just wants to make sure they're full of food. Dwarves, I think. Wasn't that Puppet's Bunker Patch? That sounds right, John. It's been so long. Which would mean that it would be crafters then gatherers 2 times in a row, which means that Dopro, if following the pattern, which doesn't have to, would be crafting. You got a promotion to Colonel. Yoshi P, I've seen many artworks of this little guy on social media and the dev team really enjoys them too. What's coming in patch 7.2? New elegant tombstones? Same as always. And since this is an even patch, yeah. Elegant tombstones of mathematics. Nice. Hey! Everyone's gonna... I know a bunch of players are gonna be afraid to get these tombstones because I know how much a lot of you hate basic arithmetic. Wait, was Hildebrand in a freaking UA Iwata? It does look like he was in UA Iwata Field Station, yes. No, not math! Yeah. Yoshi P even said, so these new tombstones will be something of a lot of you struggle with, and then said mathematics. Even Yoshi P is fucking nailing on y'all. Yoshi P knows the memes. He knows the community memes. Yoshimi, they'll ask you for prime numbers when you want to trade them in, and if your answer is incorrect, all tomes will disappear. This is a joke. This is not me saying that. That's Yoshi saying that. Oh, man. Ritterana Lighthouse Enjoyers eating well, yeah. Yoshi P memeing on us, yeah. Oh, you're right, Yo Infinite is the secret key art without the secret. Because we do have the version without the dome, but yeah. Duty support, Sunko Temple, are we only getting one? Because then it's one per patch, and that makes sense. It looks like we're gonna get one duty support per patch for the optional dungeons that aren't technically part of MSQ. I would expect them to finish out A Realm Reborn. Don't expect them necessarily to finish out expert dungeons. So we should get up to Aurum Vale, I believe. I think they're already in this thing. Jule, good to see glad you. No one said there would be math. Yeah. Starman, good to see glad have you. I mean, he's right. He should say it, but he's right. Yeah. Wonder how well the tank NPCs will handle the platform. I would expect that a lot of the mechanics for it may be rejiggered, Flora, like the same way that Halatali got changed, right? Or every other duty support. Yeah, I wonder how they'll change it. Yeah, me too, Paul. Me too. To be fair, some of the things kind of still work as long as you're in the one in control. Mill the statues over the button with jank collision moving themselves in the last second. Yeah, I think they'll probably change that, Mex, because otherwise it's going to be a nightmare. If you're not a tank, yeah. Unless they just pull them correctly. You know, that's a possibility. Yoshi P, we've been thinking about this name for a long time, but I thought it would be causing too much of a headache. But this is the right patch for them. So apparently they wanted to use the name Tomestones of Mathematics for a while, but Yoshi P was like, let's wait. Because it might cause people nightmare, cause people to have nightmares. Yoshi P, compared to other dungeons, this one is a little different on the gimmicks. Thinking back, scary bees or even doomed to be cleansed on panels. So it looks like they are changing it up quite a bit. John, I'm fairly sure you're correct, because also you can literally even already see in the duty support that those are the 3 that are grayed out. Again, I wouldn't expect anything after that to be added. Any expert dungeon should not, probably won't be added. PvP update. Please, for the love of God, for all that is holy, please give us old rewards or a way to go farm the old rewards from the tracks. I don't care if each one is 20,000 crystals. All that is holy. You said you'd bring them back. Please bring them back. I beseech you, Yoshi P. Removal of the rival. Please no. I love Rival Wings. Rival Wings is so much fun. It's a generation curse of math for Rielio. It runs in the family, but skip my Didn't Cutter's Cry get changed? Has it? Halatali did. I don't think Cutter's Cry has. I ran it pretty recently. Yoshi says, yeah, they changed up the mechanics in Karn, and there's even a hidden puzzle mechanic in the dungeon. Yoshi, we're thinking about making rewards from past PvP series attainable again. Yes! I have been. At least he addressed it. Like, honestly, win that he addressed it. At least he goddamn mentioned something. Frontline Secure returns with various improvements. Awesome. More maps, please. That damn white armor. Yeah. Several new PvP actions. I will say, if you want to have a good time in PvP and play Frontlines, play Scholar. Scholar, I used to be even better, but it's like Scholar is a really straightforward class and a lot of fun. What's it say on the third line? On the third line, it says several new PvP actions added. Frontline Secure returns with various improvements. So we're getting some new jobs added and adjustments. Frontline Scholar eats, yeah. Man, I'm so glad to be back, actually going back to this map. Honestly, I have footage of the old map, but I've been wanting to get it since the graphic update. Allegan Ruins of Mordona. Yeah, this should be, if I'm not mistaken, this basically should be in and around, or at least nearby the Cartno Flats. Oh, they've actually, no, they changed it up a lot. This isn't. Holy moly. Oh man, they really changed it up.
懐かしみが、
懐かしみあります。
懐かしみがすごい。
Wow.
いろいろ手が入って。
That's just a new map. I mean, it's still reused, but that's.
まああとその追加の。
Oh, and you've got the ones over here, so you've got the main thing and reasons to go out over here. Okay. PvP is fun, just don't try to win. Believe me, I farmed the commander mantle. Yeah. PvP in 14 is fun if you go in with the right mindset, and what that mindset is dependent on you as a player. I'm not saying that everyone's gonna super enjoy it, but it can be a lot of fun without having to be either sweaty or yeah. What really tends to help is if you have someone who's like semi-decent walk you through kind of like fundamentals, so it feels more or less like a fucking chaotic nightmare. I'm just dying. What the fuck? Hey, Everkeep. So this is the ruins of actual historical Alexandria inside Everkeep, which we knew Everkeep was built up around on top of the castle from Alexandria, as you can see in the dungeon. The new dungeon, the Underkeep. Fucking called it. We called it, Infinite. We called it. We've been saying in book club. Speaking of, if you want to join our book club, go join our book club at discord.gg/Eorzean Archives. We have a book club every Friday, as well as many events most of the days of the week. Yoshipi, I wonder where this... Yoshipi, don't... It's fucking inside Everkeep at the base of it. Front line is whose team's stupid today? Is it us? It's us. Yeah, the Necropolis. Yeah, this makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the headquarters of Preservation, or at least where they're keeping some stuff. This is where some part of the Everkeep fundamental operating system is. It's also yeah. Yoshibi, I cannot tell you why we go there and what's inside. I would bet money it is directly to do with Preservation. Oh, cool. So like you're going through, you go through, like you get to the castle and then you fight through the castle as well. That's cool. This is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be fun because it's gonna like combine. This is gonna, you know, what this is gonna combine. This is effectively gonna combine Grand Cosmos and the twinning. It does take it off for a deep dungeon though. Yes, it does, but honestly, Jules, I think this works well. So like, it not being a deep dungeon is fine as long as it's a dungeon. And I think for what story, the sort of story they're getting at and going towards, this is a good use for it. Elio, who is Aiko from 9? She's a summoner girl with the horn. Reminds me of Grand Cosmos. Yeah, exactly, Gobu. Yeah. The chasm is better deep dungeon location anyways. Yeah, the Stardust Rend, yeah, is a there's so many good variant dungeon locales. Coffee Island, for instance, in Tyrol, having it be Everkeep was not necessary. It was not necessary. I mean, hell, we could still do variant dungeons somewhere in the Lost World. Yoshi P, we are still adjusting the lighting settings on this one, so the final dungeon may look a little different to this, but here's another screenshot. That's what you do. Dance the Macabre, yeah. It's totally not reused Grand Cosmos aspects. Do not look too closely. Yoshi P, so this clearly was a dance hall, but those boxes on the outside, they surely were placed there at a later point. Yeah. And remember, Everkeep went up, Sphene had already become an endless. So there's clearly a lot that's gonna be going on in there. Grand Cosmos and the Alexandria deliver together. Fun fact, it basically makes the dungeon a sequel to Alexandria, the dungeon, because it stops right on the platform, right outside the Alexandrian castle. Infinite, that's a great way of putting it. Man, I'm so glad I'm back to making content because there's so much good shit to talk about in Dawntrail. Oh, Dawntrail's so lore rich and dense. It's beautiful. And engaging with old lore and new lore in so much fun ways. Someone said that the bowl cut kid looks like Aiko coded. I don't see it, other than the hair cut and color, I guess. I mean, if they named it that, sure. Yeah. Yoshi P says maybe we dance in the dance hall. Who knows? Yeah, this looks very mysterious. Oh, hey! Are those paintings or are they photos? Because if so, they're photos, it's more, they're more examples of tin types. That Dawntrail will be the first time that we've seen photos in 14. We've seen them in Shaloni and now here, if there's our photos. They look like the same style as the tin types. Oh, you kitty! New raid, the Arcadian. Are they gonna have the big cage from 9? Good. Yeah, that'd be one thing to adapt. I would definitely look for things from 9 for them to adapt for
ク
sure.
ルーザー級という、
はい
階
Sorry, give me a second, my
級
chat
で
just
戦って
exploded.
いただくことになります。
うーん。
ノーマルと
Cruiserweight, y'all were right. Yep. So we're gonna see fights 5 through 8. 5 through 8.
あれ
That was the part of the castle where Zidane and Garnet first met, by the way. Oh,
そうです。
interesting. Yeah, that's a good
こ
point.
れよくある。
I didn't. The staircase, Lone. You're right. It is. The like. Let me pull up the image.
雨の日。
Yoshi P says a new raid, but a kind of cute screenshot.
懐かれているのを見てっていう。このネタでもさ。
Foxconn. I thought this guy was screaming at us in raid, and now he's got cute kittens all around him. So this was the bomber guy.
昔の吉田やん。
For those who aren't aware, this is a location in FF8. And you'll notice this is similar, not exactly the same, but similar in style to that shot that we just saw. Roids do that too. Yeah, Brute Bomber face turd, yeah. Make him a baby face, make him a baby face.
だってヒカセンが薬割っても何
Listen,
も
I'm
言われないんだ
embarrassed.
し。
It was real as good. I mean, to be fair, Yukio, there was it's like Santa Claus. There was for all of us a point where we thought it was real.
そういうことですね。
まあまあ。
Dude, if one of the fights is Chocobo Girl, I actually that would be rad as hell.
飲んでるから。
I'm kind of super for
これかなりのいい
that.
用語ですよね。援護射撃としては。最高3回とか飲んでますからね。そうですね。しかも悪速度速くなったからね。
There's a lot of cats in this scene.
そして、もう一
Give
枚
me
ご
more
ざいます。
Arcadian
はい
wife.
一枚いってみましょう。
Oh my god. Oh man, what's the painting Lalafell?
そうですね。
Yoshi P, we pot 3 times in some fights. Oh, Cha is commenting how Brute Bomber's doping was always just a performance because the Warrior of Light also uses a pot and nothing happens. Yoshi P says we pot 3 times in some fights even.
顔に吹きかけられるんです。
E-girl. Oh man. I hope that this... Dude, can you imagine if it was Squid? Can you imagine if this was Splatoon Lalafell? Imagine if this was Splatoon Lalafell. That would be some energy right there. Please be a squid or an octopus or something.
そうですね。結構
Yoshi P holding on some sort of spray. Kraken Lalafell. Yes! Let's go! The Krakafell awakens!
吉ララかと思って。まあ。
Oh, Milava, correct.
いやいや、ララは大概こんなもんですよって言うと、ララ皆さんに怒られる。
Octomammoth 2. Yeah. Octomammoth 2, Milala Boogaloo.
彼女は彼女の魅力が大変詰まった。
I really do actually hope this is a Splatoon inspired fight, particularly with all the like art and stuff that they have already from like Chardmook and like Pictomancer and stuff that they've made. Yeah. That's a cool recolor of the 97 dungeon. Yeah, the Vanguard top. Yeah.
まだあった。お、なんじゃこれ。
マップですねこれ。
そうですな。
Ooh. Oh my god, it's a dance. Dude, this is about to get Yakuza. This is about to, it's a fucking disco arena.
明らかに
この後ろの影が。
Oh my god.
ポーズ決めてます。
そうですね。確かに。
だって天井からね。
ミラーボール。
Oh my god.
あらら。
Something green. I need to practice actually reading the ancient and Alexandrian script. I just know that that's green. We're going down to Funky Town. Oh my god, please tell me we get some funk and disco as one of the music themes. This arena scares me. It has a threatening aura. Do we have the hairstyle? Oh, well, there is a kind of afro, but not to that degree. Oh my god, if it was a Sabotender, green, you're right, what if it's a Sabotender? Oh, Sabotender dancing! Oh! Oh my god, please give me Sabo Tender Disco. Oh, you already gave me Barrel Tender and a Barrel Tender mount. It's already been my, like, it's already been a good time for Cactar lovers everywhere, but please, for all that is holy, give me Sabo Tender Disco.
そうですね。なんかいろいろ想像つきますよね。なんだったらこの看板そもそも倒れてくるんじゃないかっていうさ。
Yoshi P says, another dance floor? There's a narrator in these raids again, but a bit more teasing than the last time. Also, Yoshi P says about the Lalafell, I'm interested in comparing how players feel about her now versus how they feel about her after completing the raids. I can't say Lalas always give me this kind of vibe, or Lala players will get angry, but this is how Lalas look even to every non-Lalafell player. Yoshi P thinks, and he's not wrong, this is what Lalafells look like to every non-Lalafell player, and I concur. Yoshi P says these panels might even fall down on the arena, or the lights might shoot lasers. Some lights are off. I bet they'll light up during the fight. Oh man. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Honeybee Lovely as a special guest announcer. That'd be cute. Yoshi P says there will be a lot of map gimmicks in this raid series again. What is this Lalafell? Remember, Yoshi P does play Lalafell. And also, he did say that he couldn't say it or they get angry, but then he said it. What if Disco Ball's like an Omega Eye? Oh my god. And it reflects, the Disco Ball reflects the light and you have to like know the pattern for the Disco Ball. Oh my god. That'd be amazing. If it's not playing Koi no Disco Queen, I don't want it.
Fever time!
Yoshi P just goes, fever time!
結構ね、今回ね、スピードの速い テンポの速いバトル。まあこことは言わない。
I want DDR. I want a DDR. I want a DDR too, Hydra.
まあいろんな
Look away from the disco ball.
コンテンツの魅力が
If there's not an attack called Disco Inferno, we riot.
ぜひですね、いろんなところ楽しんでいただきたいなと思っております。はい。
Yoshi P, there's a very speedy fight in this raid series as well. Not saying it's on this map, but there will be one that has a very high tempo. Be ready. Next Ramus, safety dance mechanic. Yeah, you can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Oh, is that the trial? What is that part of the raid? What is that? This is screenshots from the new trial. It's not Vidral. New trial, recollection, normal extreme. That looks, to be fair, that looks like it's in the Underkeep. Its name is Zeria in Japanese. You can see right, Zeria. Well, you can't see because my face is covering it. That does look like it's in the Underkeep, so maybe you guys are right and the trial is a part of the Jojo, welcome to Archon. Enjoy your emotes. Maybe this is maybe it is part of the story. All I can show today are these two screenshots. Because that sort of architecture exists nowhere else than on the 9th. I mean, another possibility is the trial series is on the 9th on the Unlost World, and we're going to locations in the Unlost World that are references to 9. Leon, does that look like anywhere else besides the inside of Alexandria in 9? Okay, am I crazy? But does that look like a robot Beatrix from FF9? It does look like a robot Beatrix from FF9. You can even see some of the color patterning with the red and the like. The sword, everything. Yeah, it does look like a robot Beatrix. She looks like she's going to cast 7 before Tell 7 Fates, yeah. Yep, probably Otis wasn't the only knight made into a robot. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Big sword. We know that the program was pretty early when the knights were having their souls used as test subjects. That's definitely inside the Underkeep from what I'm seeing, and I agree on the robot Beatrix thing, yeah. She's less Gundam-y and more like an orbital farm, yeah. Wonder what the wings will look like. Possibly Beatrix's soul in a shell, yeah. Maybe a failed Fiend vessel. I think it's probably in the same line as Otis. Early tests for the taking of the soul and putting it in an artificial body. Maybe this was either a second prototype after Otis's was the first one. Yeah, Otis was just the first success. Yeah, well, I guess that's the other thing. It could be a failure rather than a success. We know that putting souls into bodies, like different bodies, causes problems, right? Like taking animal souls into human vessels causes problems. Taking human souls and putting them in artificial vessels causes problems. Yeah. I will note additionally the rose and thorn platform floating in the background like an aura. Yeah. That's also something associated with Beatrix. Oh, right, the thorns, rose and thorn. Yeah, it's definitely the Beatrix. Nope, no new stuff from Yoshi. And it's even the line cut is like that one attack she does, right? It is interesting that the things around her head are like beaming energy, lightning into her head, it almost looks like. So it's almost like either they're keeping her under control or regulated or something.
じゃあもう吉田さんはもうこれテストプレイ済みですね。
あ、まだノーマルですけど、まだノーマル。
It is possible this is still a trial series and we delve back into the history of Alexandria through the trials. But I would say that since this does look like the Underkeep, it is possible you guys are right in that it's not a trial series. I'm gonna be surprised if that's the case. Partly because that means that they're gonna either have to cut one or double up or something, because usually they're gonna have to put a trial somewhere, because otherwise we're gonna lose out in the point 3. Yeah. If it isn't a trial series, yeah. If Dawn Trail story ends with point 3, I wonder how they will handle these story trials. Weren't they Jupiter Knights or something? Yeah. If it is a trial series. I mean, we could just have a trial in 4 and 5 that are tied to something else. Yeah. Resort is called Save the Sphinx. That's pretty good, King. Yoshi P. So we play tested this last week, and with the mechanic that we designed, it made the floor look really dense for some of our testers. Well, it actually wasn't. There was something we already had to fix. While it might have been a personal feeling, it would definitely throw some players off. Maybe I can bring some screenshots to part 2. We've only tested normal mode so far, and it was too difficult, so we're taking some mechanics out of it. No! Normal mode's a little too easy. Don't take mechanics out. Yeah, DX fighting especially. If you want to get back to EX farming, we have EX farms every Wednesday and Saturday over in our Discord. We've got Fate farming, EX mount farming, Lore Book Club. Hey! Yep, it's what we expected. So we're seeing the next Unreal, Hell's Cure, which means the next Unreal after that will probably be, say, Ryu. Which actually makes me wonder what point 4 and point 5 are going to be. Probably Tsukuyomi. Probably Tsukuyomi and Shinryu is probably the 2 that we'll see. Yoshi P Foxconn says DDR is back for Unreal. I wonder what those 2 things above her head are. They do something during the fight. They were saying about Beatrix. We also do Unreal clears most weeks. Unreal Suzaku, this is acceptable, yeah. I wish there was a way to revisit older Unreals. Yeah, me too, Gobu. To be fair, though, revisiting old Unreals for past expansions would be pointless, because it would effectively just be the same as sinking down at that point, because they're only balanced for 90 or 80, right? So at that point, just sink, you know. No DDR, please. You go. It's too late. This is DDR. This EX is a literal dance to heal, and it's so fun. I know. I love the DDR in this. Yeah. Still holding to hope Otis isn't dead. He was left at 1%. Yoshi B, there's so much history with this content. Monks at limit breaking and falling down into the hole in the middle, for instance. Because your model actually got moved. So if she was hovering on the hole and you used limit break and you did your limit break, your model moved to her and you would actually fall into the hole while using your limit break. Fox on. For its time, there were a lot of mechanics in this where you needed to pay attention to the map and outside. Yeah, for its time. I mean, these days, I mean, look, Byakko is such an easy fight. Yeah, Byakko and Real is such a pleasure because it's so simple. This one is actually not going to be that much different, to be frank. But honestly, it'll be a good time. 8 Rhythm Games had to play Kingdom Hearts. Oh, music, yeah, melody of, on easy the entire time. Yeah, I wonder how much they have to account for picto potencies. Probably quite a decent amount, but they have to account for they're starting from scratch with all the jobs, right? Yeah, melody and memory. Thank you, Flora. Okay, you're going to talk about cosmic exploration a little bit next. I only know that because I can see it in his hands. Okay, short break first, and then in part 2 we talk about big new contents. Okay, guys, how I feeling? What we thinking? I can pull up some of the screenshots. I'm gonna pull up screenshots of...
15分休憩取らさせていただいて、午後9時10分の再開としたいと思います。はい。で、本日の休憩中ですが、前回の PLL 以降、我々の昨年秋口にいろいろイベントがございましたので、それの思い出動画をまとめてご覧いただこうかなと思っておりまして、ラインナップを短にご紹介させていただきますと、
ラインナップ
はい、2024年9月に開催されました TGS2024 の思い出動画。
15-minute breaks and then we are continuing. So we've got 15-minute break. So let's talk about some of this stuff, shall we?
ありましたね。
はい。
So we've got the Underkeep, which obviously this is like at the base and foundation of Everkeep. Makes sense.
オーストラリアから飛んでったんで、韓国。
メルボルンからね、行っていただいて。
Battle room. So presumably we go in, and then the dance hall is probably pretty early on in there. I would bet money before getting up into the main area. If you see, you can see a staircase over there. I think that staircase is this. So the order is you go into there. Once in there, you're probably pretty quickly in here. You go there, you reach that staircase, and then come up and around, continuing on into whatever follows after.
なるほどなるほど。じゃあ全体思い出動画で14分ぐらいの。
Yoshi just says, "Man, the Korean Fan Fest was stressful. I had to fly there from Melbourne." Yeah. So. Sorry, I'm checking some of your guys' messages to see what I missed. Send you something, G-Man. Thank you, Lil. Oh yeah. Oh, this is a perfect juxtaposition. Thank you, Lil. Let's show these off. So for those who don't know, that for Beatrix, the character, this is her in FF9. Literally, like, very clearly. Go on that, Lil. Beatrix looks like a cool boss as well. Yeah, 15 or 40 looks meaty enough. 15 or 50 to what floor? I heard a rumor. A rumor? Rumor about what? The pizza's not looking great. New dungeon trial are possibly cool. This will be the first time that we will have a 0.1 through 0.3 that has the trials a part of the story, unless. I mean, presumably this is a story trial. And the part of the reason I say that is if it wasn't, they would have announced the new trial series name. And it explains why they haven't been mentioning a new trial series up to this point. But it will be the first time that we have a 0.1, 0.3 and a 0.4, 0.5 without a trial series, which is interesting. I wonder why they're swapping it up. How many minutes is the break? 15. So there's about 13 minutes left of the break. She's the general of Alexandria military. Makes sense that they will make her into an endless if she holds such high position. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Maybe they just like doing it in Endwalker. Yeah, I mean, if they like doing it for story purposes, Levi. It's just I'm interested what drove that change. What's interesting about that is, let's say on current cadence, then we've got 3. We're gonna have a 0.2. If we have a, that means that Hildebrand has to have a trial, and there probably has to be another. That means that we've got to have a trial every patch from here on out. Which, interesting. I know she's a big 9 fan. I really look forward to Snapcube's reaction to this. Sure, yeah. Man, would it be cool if we go to FF9 Tombstone gear? Yeah. Yes, yeah. To be fair, some of the outfits like Zidane's, right? I don't know if it's Garnet. Zidane's and Garnet's are already in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Excited for the new MSQ trial boss. Looks sick. Raids are probably going to be great. Yeah, if Cosmic Exploration, whatever else they have planned hits, it'll be a great patch, I feel. Yeah. For those of you who I don't want to talk about this. 0.1 is always slow. Now, there should be feedback that 0.1 needs to not be slow. That there should be content earlier on in the patch. But the 0.1 being slow, effectively from a development standpoint, right? Think about it. They're sprinting to the end to get the 0.0 out. The 4 months to the 0.1 and then the 4 months to the 0.2 give them a lot of time to not only create the content for all the patches to come and get ahead of things for like the exploration zones, but it also then allows for them to also start work on 8.0 and gives them time. Again, doesn't necessarily mean that the 0.1, but like, I guess it's technically not wrong to call it a content drought, but like, 0.1 has always been like that, and I feel like people are talking about like Dawntrail, like Dawntrail's unique, and if anything, Dawntrail actually has more in the 0.1 than historically we've gotten. But yeah, I think the 0.2 is going to address at least some of people's problems with the amount of content we've got going on. Friendly reminder, you want a content drought though, when 0.55 comes out, you're going to have like 6 months with nothing. Is being 723 armor-wise? Yeah. Just, not Garnet's, just Zidane's okay. Zidane's outfit has been in the game for years. Yeah, it was one of the reward login rewards, or the subscription rewards. Yeah, loyalty reward, yeah. Great Garment's pretty accurate. Okay. Give me Garnet as legend. Sometimes it feels like the player base actually wants the devs to crunch. I think this answer is Flora. One, the player base is not a monolith, and a bunch of people have different perspectives. But the answer is yes. I think a lot of people do. Frankly, Flora. The answer is people do want the devs to crunch because they want the content. How that makes you feel, I leave up to you. For me, I find that a little frustrating, but the emphasis on sustainability, people are not wrong that we have a problem with like a 0.1 patch, or also having repeatable content, particularly in the fact that we have like Savage raids in 0.1 and Chaotic Alliance raids, which are a content that the majority of players are not going to be able to either want to or able to engage with, right? As an example, as primary forms of content. Like, that's all legitimate. But, like, there are realities around creating stuff. Yeah, people just want their content. Most people don't understand that's why what they want will require the devs to crunch, or why that's a bad thing. Yeah, good way of putting it. I can't hear the song without hearing Soken and the Primal singing it. Oh, that's cute. How about they don't crunch? How about they just increase budget slightly? The thing is, Levi, making games is not just a throw money at the problem situation. Like, let me give you an example. This is not necessarily the case, but there's not a direct correlation of hire more people, increase productivity. If you, for instance, let's say increase the budget and hire 20 new junior programmers, there's going to be a lead-in time while you're training them up where the efficiency of your team actually is probably going to drop, not increase. So for instance, in Dawntrail, we may be seeing the results of that. They may have been hiring up, and what we're seeing is the lag time of the efficiency drop and growth issues around like hiring on new people and trying to train them up, increase the team size, change any of the dynamics that have been used, right? So I don't think it's not just a throw money at it issue. I don't think. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the later end of like later parts of Dawntrail solve a lot of the problems people have been complaining about, but mainly because those problems were being attempted to be addressed or before people were complaining about, but we only see a lag time of development, both by the fact that we only get patches every 4 months, and then also that the development takes time, right? Yeah, development, you throw all the money that the world at 14. If the people they hire don't know how to work with the game's tools or follow the design flaws properly, it won't only make things worse. Yeah, because then you're just going to build more tech debt. You're going to build, like, it's just going to increase the long-term problems that they're trying to fundamentally solve. It's also because the time between content has increased from 3 months to 4.9. It has not increased that much. It has increased by 1 to 2 weeks. But if we, like, you can literally look up, like, Shadowbringers, right? Which everyone loves Shadowbringers, right? That's the one expansion people unequivocally love. Right? So, end of October. So, at least with 5.1, you might be right, actually. November, December, January, February. So, no, 4 months. February to August. Well, so 2 weeks in, and then March, April, May, June, July, August. Wait, that can't be right. Okay, so let's just start from May. March, April, May, June, July, August. So yeah, it was 6 months between 5.2 and 5.3, if this is right, which I want to double check that. I don't think that's right. That can't be right. Yeah, 5.1, 29th October. Patch 2, February. Yeah, there was almost 6 months. Now pandemic. So let's choose an earlier one. Let's choose Stormblood because that was people that had the most content per patch probably that they have ever done, and that was an earlier one, so it was before an increase of time and also not during pandemic. So let's not use Shadowbringers. Stormblood. Okay, Stormblood. You have June 20th, 2017. Then you have October 10th. So that is 4 months minus a week, right? So you're looking at about so about 4 months, pretty standard. Rise of the New Sun, you're looking at 2 weeks to November. So then you're thinking about November, December, all of January. So 3 months plus the 2 weeks. So yeah, so 3.5 to 4 weeks. And now what we're seeing usually is 4 months to 4 to 2 weeks with some wiggle room. Like I do think that is. So you're not wrong that there has been an inflated amount of time, but to be fair, they stated that was going to happen during Endwalker partly because of size and scope and scale and to avoid crunch. I also don't think a week is honestly what's killing people. I think it's what's on the patch is going to be the problem, not... Like, if you had... Let's say that you can come out with a patch and then they create an enormous giant exploration zone that everyone loved and enjoyed doing, the patch could be, I think, 5 months and be less of an issue, right? Yeah, it's not my... Yeah, most of the senior devs started to work on the next one of the next Square MMORPGs. So the way that... Shy, good to see you, glad to have you. The way that it works is that they don't just move the people on. So development skills don't just translate like that. If your experience is on Crystal Tools, or at least the version of the engine that they're working on now, that doesn't necessarily one-to-one translate to other things. However, they rotate devs out based on people wanting to grow their skills and also get a change out, breath of fresh air. It's not just you move senior dev to senior dev, senior dev. Like, not all skills are transferable. You know, the vocal part of the player base has decided that if Dawn Trail gets no slack because people have gotten weird about the MSQ. I mean, that's not to oversimplify, because I think just simplifying as people's critiques of it is unfair. There is some truth to that relish. And I think part of the problem is people have just started not even echo chambering, but just kind of repeating other people's points without really thinking about them. Because I've like seen some just like weird statements that are just factually incorrect. Which has been weird. But yeah. Look, if you didn't like Dawn Trail, that's fine. But like, it's been a weird time for sure for the 14 community. Although honestly, I was always expecting this, not only because of after Endwalker and a big climactic ending or whatever, but when we got a huge influx of people towards the tail end of Shadowbringers in Endwalker, I kind of expected there was going to come a point where those sprouts would become players who had gone through everything and experience like a 0.1 or a content drought and be frustrated. And I think we're seeing some of that. Now, to be fair, to say that's just that would be stupid, because plenty of veteran players are frustrated with the MSQ or other things. But yeah. If I had to expect the final boss of Arcadian to be the president himself, who is just Kuja in a snazzy pink office suit, honestly, Infinite, I think you're right. That's where they're going to use Kuja. It's good though, because then you have a little more time to play different games while you wait for the next major event. Here's the thing, Gobu. I don't tell people just take a break because if people who are frustrated, like it doesn't help. I, however, subscribe to that mentality. If take breaks from 14. One, it's good for you. It's good to go play other games and experience other things and not burn yourself out on it. But I get that like some people just want to be playing 14, right? So I try not to be dismissive of that content. I think Dawn Trail has a lot of issues that no one really mentions. For instance, 7.1, we got a little content, and even with little content, we got less than usual. But we didn't get less than usual, Delphos. We actually got more. We got into, like, per pound, we got more in 7.1. Like, here, we can pull it up. 5.1. We got an ultimate. We got an ultimate in 0.1. We also got Chaotic Alliance raids. We got an EXE. We got EXE Minstrel Ballad. We got a dungeon. We got an alliance raid when we got oh my god, first walk, right? You know, let's just do a 1-to-1 comparison here on this 7.1. Alright, so no, still in menus. Right, so we're at minimum the same, right? But we also got an Unreal, which I don't think we had in Unreal. So that's basically an entire trial, which you can say that's not really a trial because it's just a balance update to 1, but sure. But it's still an Unreal, right? We got an Allied Society Pelu Pelu, and we got a custom delivery. Did we get an Allied Society in 0.1? Yeah, we got Pixies. We got the Roll Quest finale. We got the Roll Quest finale, which did we get the Roll Quest finale in 0.1? When did we get it with Silva? Don't think it was in 0.1, right? Major PvP overhauls and the addition of the Holly Tolly duty support. Like, you can say that, like, a lot of it is not things you'd like to do. That's fine. But, like, objectively, we didn't get less content. Like, it's demonstrable that we didn't get less content. We also got the Pandemonium epilogue, right? Again, I'm not saying you have to like it or it's enough. That is a different argument. But factually, we got, at minimum, the same and arguably more. The first half was very surface info, so you didn't miss much. Yeah, not a lot missed. Yeah. Rip, good to see, glad to have you. Jay, good to see, glad to have you. Zach, good to see, glad to have you. I mean, I wouldn't call it surface level. We got the name of the patch. We got Arcadian info. We got the Underkeep, the new dungeon, and the next trial. Yeah. Okay, just because the content is full of things you don't touch doesn't mean there isn't content. Yeah. I joined around 6.1 and enjoyed it up to the content drought, mainly because I'm a casual, later dabbler, slightly and savage, aka P8S, and 6.5, and I came for Destiny 2, so it's already custom to drought. Yeah. The thing is, I don't think drought's an appropriate term, to be frank. I think you can argue... no. That sounds like I'm policing language. It's not unwarranted to say the cadence of release of content could be increased, or the type of content released in the 0.1 should be... something needs to be added that is farmable, for instance, an exploration zone or whatever needs to be something that is more doable and repeatable, that is not mandatory but still enjoyable. That's real. But saying it's a drought means that pretty much all 0.1s are a drought. And I think that's a weird thing to say, because when we actually have droughts, which is between the 0.55 or 5.8 and the 7 point, and then the 0.0, you know. And we're back. The patch name is, and I've already forgotten it because I've been so busy talking to y'all. The patch name is Seekers of Eternity. Yeah, I would put it like this. There's plenty of content, but it's not the type of content that the general player base is interested in, like Allied Societies or Roll Quests, or Chaotic Alliance raids, or, you know, or EX. You know, there's a lot of stuff in the 0.1. A lot of it's the stuff that only, like, 30% or less of the player base plays, right? And that's a problem. It is a problem. But, you know, just objectively, we did not have less content in this 0.1 than we have had historically. That doesn't mean it's enough. We're back to the X of Y patch names. Yeah, I like that better than just the Crossroads name. Yoshi P, saw comments going BRB once the clip ended, but I was getting a 45 seconds to go shot from the side. Foxconn, seeing the FanFest keyword right now gives me a headache. Yoshi P, it's so difficult finding locations. Foxconn, there's just no space. Hopefully they'll find a location that can host even more people, because, like, I mean, Vegas was okay for Gone Trail, but I want more people to be able to get to go. I mean, to be fair, Caitlin, there's the rewards of the mounts, there's the rewards of the story, there's, like, a lot of extrinsic and intrinsic reward, but if, like, your only goal is the XP from it, then yeah. I feel you on that. I feel like it feels redundant when I'm already max level, but seeing as I do that literally like the second day of an expansion, you know, what can you do? At least I enjoy the stories and enjoy the mounts, right? Foxconn, you don't win the lottery. Yes, for you to win the ticket lottery, we're trying really hard to find big venues. Okay, so specifically they're trying to address the problem of, like, the venues not being able to host enough people. Because even, like, the in Vegas last time, it was a big place, but I don't know that you can get much bigger in general. Like, I'm sure there are locales, but, like, it's gonna be hard for them. Yeah. Yoshi B, just go to Sapporo, you think, right? We can just get it, right? They're booked out. Oh, so yeah, specifically in Japan, the problem, like, even in Japan, it's particularly bad, right? Because you don't, like, other than, like, the Tokyo Dome, you, like, there's probably not a lot of places. Yeah.
ライティングとかも改めて
It's about value. Yeah, maybe someone felt like it had more content because so many of us ran copy factor like 40 times to get coffers with 2 big of 5.1 max. Yeah. There's been a big issue for me and part of why I took a break. I wanted to do the new ultimate, but I couldn't find a static and people just kept being negative about it because it's not casual content. Sure. Yeah. The issue with picking an American fan fest location is the size of the country. Either way, a large amount of people won't be able to make it. Yeah, I mean, that's just partly America. Honestly, Vegas is, to be frank, the best option because it's better than just putting it in LA for a number of reasons, but like Vegas is the closest to centralizing it that we're gonna get that I think is still relatively convenient for them. Yoshi P, it's not enough if we book a venue for 2 days. We need to get all the stages built, got to do rehearsals. FanFest usually ends in the evening, so we most likely need the day after as well for breakdown. Yeah, Vegas in summer is crazy dangerous now, though. Yeah, I definitely felt I was there, and it was like walking into Oven. It was like, I don't know if it was 120, but it was like 111 or something, which I'm sure it gets higher. But like walking outside, it was literally like when you're in your house, and you put your oven on like 450 degrees, and you're going to bake a pizza, and you open it up, and that like blast of air. That is like that every time you just walk outside, it's like that. Oh, it does. What's important part, Vegas still has indoor smoking, right? Some locations, not all of it. Just don't go to Nevada in the summer. You will actually get heat stroke. I mean, to be fair, that FanFest, well, maybe they won't have it in summer this year, depending on when they want to release, how the release cadence for 8.0 will go. Foxconn, and for all attendees, we obviously want to have the event during a weekend. Yoshi P, what about weather conditions, accommodations, etc.? We also need to adjust it to development schedules. But unless we have venues booked, we also can't announce any dates. Foxconn, that's why every Final Fantasy XIV globally is discussing right now, is when to do FanFest. If we look at the current cadence, right, if we're getting late March... So 4 from that plus, so we would see 7.3 should be early August, presumably. And then plus 4 plus 2, we would see 7.4 in probably like December or January, probably January. Which means FanFest could be spring of next year. That's what I would look for, because it'll be between the 0.4 and 0.5 typically. So I would assume early spring, and then maybe like a fall release date for 0.0 on current cadence. Been to Iraq, Vegas is easily just don't go. Been to Iraq, Vegas is easy, just don't go outside. Yeah. By the way, Yoshi stated in a recent interview they were already deep in working on 7.3. Yeah, they usually work at least a patch ahead. So like, to be fair, like anytime that they're doing checks, you basically can assume that they're already deep in that. So yeah, it's not surprising at all. And typically because of the like QA debugging and final checks that go on usually up to a month before patch release, you can assume that deep into 7, they're always about probably 4 to 6 weeks. They're probably pretty deep into production on the following patch. Particularly with how they kind of plan out pre-production well in advance as well, and the fact that we know things like Beastmaster are supposed to be in that patch. So I have one day to FanFest, but I worry about exchange rates. I believe in you, Yukio. You can do it. At least you got more options now because you're out in the Philippines, right? And you're you've got Korean FanFest, you've got Japanese FanFest. SLC is nice because even 100-degree weather, you can just go up the mountain where it's like 50 to 75. You forgot about Beastmaster. Okay, he's got a little sheet with Cosmic Exploration art on it, so I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to talk about first. Yukio, if you want to come to Vegas, I mean, like, look, I can probably promise you at least a free room, depending on if you're willing to sleep on the couch or something, you know, like, or at least like a place to stay at night. Because I definitely want to have more archive people meet up for this FanFest. If so few of us got tickets last time, I only got to meet up with a couple of you guys at the Denny's in Vegas, and that was an experience. If I recall, it should be said during the 0.1 live letter that they're almost done with the 8.0 pre-production. Yeah, which is pretty standard because of how they do the patch content. That they have to be planning the next expansion basically by the time the 0.1, or they have to be deep into pre-production by the time the 0.1 is done. Cosmic Exploration needs to engage Island Sanctuary. Engaging Island Sanctuary is okay, but felt lacking in some ways. Yeah, I think the problem is that it was slow life, which was good for some people, bad for others, but also it was just a cadence of something you could complete. It wasn't kind of really evergreen. Whereas Cosmic Exploration will be interesting to see how much they've learned from Island Sanctuary and Ishgardian Restorations. Foxconn. Oh, Yoshipi. But seeing FanFest clips really gets me hyped for them. Funny to see how every region also has a long fall dance during the event. And when our Japanese team sees the quality of the dance the other global teams have, they all get stressed out that they need to improve a lot. And we even went to Saudi Arabia. Foxconn, we did. We took the entire orchestra. Saudi Arabia has amazing food. It was perfect for a Japanese person. Foxconn. It's also funny to see how wherever we go, people try to attune with the Aetherites. Attune! You mentioned that your Discord does extreme farms. Is that only for US? We primarily focus on NA. If you're on Materia, if you're on Oceania, you can definitely play with us. We do have multiple EU players. We don't have super regular stuff for that, but we would love to get it going. We just don't have enough regular we only have like 6 or so EU players. So the more people we get in, the more that we'll actually assign nights for that. Hopefully with me doing more content now, we'll start to get more blood into the Discord, which will also help with that. Is the live letter sponsored by Ikea? Yeah. Would love to go. There's restaurants in Vegas I've been meaning to go back to. Well, Des, I'd love to have, you know. I hope they'll someday add something to Island Sanctuary. I really liked it, actually. I think, Falk, it's complete. I think for them, it's definitely to move on, but, you know, maybe. Sadly, it can suck when you're, like, in the Midwest, but usually all the cool and fun shit is either on the East Coast or the West Coast. See, I grew up in, like, Wisconsin, Minnesota. I'm just used to driving out to the East or West Coast for that one, Raiji. Like, I grew up, like, we would drive to, like, California or drive to, like, South Carolina and stuff. So I feel you on that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I'm so used to that just being the norm. Cosmic Exploration, Yoshipi. We had a different name for this in development, sort of along the lines of planetary cultivation, but that'd also give too much of the island feeling. Collaborate with players from your world as you explore the cosmos in this new activity designed for crafters and gatherers. I want to try Gordon Ramsay's fish and chips. Don't drive a Dokar. Yeah, so that's the challenge. Raiji, I feel you on that one. To be fair, I don't drive very much either, so I'm a lot of times bound to others on that one. Yeah, exactly, Levi. When I was in the Army, I drove to and from Louisiana, Montana when I went on leave, yeah. And for those of you who are in the US, that's not... What I'm saying is a normal sort of drive would be like driving from Portugal to Ukraine. Like that kind of length. Maybe longer. Because to you EU people, US is big. You may have furniture older than my country, but my state is larger than your country. Discover a new star ripe for exploration in each major patch at some point X series. So we knew this. So basically, each patch you're gonna go to a different star. So there's gonna be a different environment for all the crafting and gathering. We have trains. We have trains. The problem is that it still takes days on a train to get anywhere. So the trains aren't super efficient or really common. Yeah. Yeah. Here.
そうですね。ここをやり尽くしたから次。さあ次みたいな感じで、やっていただこうと思ってます。はい。ではちょっとまずスクリーンショットを見つつ、どんな状況かというのを。
Yeah, okay. Yes, the distance I'm saying about Portugal to Ukraine was correct. That actually is a very, very good, almost perfect. Okay, it kind of just looks like Mare Lamentorum, but I'm assuming that this is just a different Mare, seeing as we can see Atheris in the background. Oh, this is probably either the moon base is going to be. Also, you can see Mericidia. Let us go to Mericidia, 8.0 Mericidia, let's go. This is how it's going to look in the beginning. This is like the operational moon base, and they haven't said yet, but I'm assuming that this is going to be instanced to each player. Tickle, yeah, good to see you, glad having. Yeah, I drove to Miami to Minnesota. Yeah, I've driven down from at least Minneapolis to the Panhandle quite a few times, so I feel you on that one. So 4 stars in total. I hope they're huge. I would expect them to be about the size of the diadem. So if that's huge to you, then Mare base alpha, Mars base alpha, yeah. Yoshipi, this is how it's going to look at the beginning. Someone says, is this like your garden? Interesting. So are we seeding life on the Marilam and Torum? Or on one of the Mares?
そうですね。
で、ギャザラーの皆さんとかだと、
はい、
何が取れるのかなっていう
確かに
感じがね。
Hey yo.
ヤバキノコじゃん。
素材の宝庫。
It should be, of course, it's a different vegetation. That's than what we have on Earth. Well, I mean, it's different than what we're gonna have on Theros. No surprise there. I mean, have you seen Lunatenders? I mean, to be fair, I think Lunatenders is partly Aleg's fault.
なるほど。
まあ、掘るでしょうよと。
What I'm curious to see is that can you go back to old planets if you weren't there? Because I think you should be able to. If you're not, that's going to be I think, a mistake on their part.
まあ、コスモエクスプローラー。
Lunatenders.
そうですね。
はあ。
Oh, great.
なんかね、奥にちらっと、ね、
本当だ。
見えて
南山椒
しますよね。
I'm interested, but I'm confused. This crystal pylon is interesting to me. Is that like a pseudo aetherite, or is that like a summon spot for your mech? Nurture the development of planets by completing missions and events as a community. Okay.
発展させていくことになります。
それがこの遊び。
そうそう。
コスモエクスプローラー。
そうそう。はは。
I wonder what the NA servers are going to be like. I wonder if Crystal's going to go ham.
シンプルです。シンプルです。
うん。そうですね。
はい。素材を取っていただき、
はい。
ものを作って、いろんなものを建設していこうじゃないかということですよね。じゃあ、
はい。
まあ、どんな風に
Not a lot of specifics at the moment.
たりとか、
I mean, basically, this is all not really any different for the most part what information we were given at FanFest in 2023.
エクスプロールされていくのかを、
Yeah, 2023. I
だ
guess?
と
What is time? When did I even go to FanFest?
まとめていってるので、
FanFest was 2023, right?
1枚ずつ見ていきましょうか。
見ましょう見ましょう。
はい、まずは初期です。
Moon housing. See, the problem is we already have a dungeon. Ooh, there's a little rover. Please tell me that's a mount or something we can drive in. Please, for all that is holy. Okay, this does look big. The map, it does look quite big. We can see moon housing. The thing is, we already did get a moon housing. It's called the Smileton. I know that's not what you mean, but it is huge. Yeah, it is big. What's interesting to me is this just the first star that we go to because this is the first. We're starting out on land on one of the seas on the Mare. You all see the yeah. Okay, good.
発展させていくと、まあちょっと進みました。はい、次行きましょう。
Ooh, I love that. I want to build one of these aetherites. That's so. Oh, I love that.
そうですね。必要ですね。
生きていけないですよ。
So is this a life generating regulator? Because that's usually what the crystal one, the rainbow crystals are for. Is they allow for the attunement of ethereal, like ambient aether attenuation.
コンテナやらね、なんやらをちゃんと。
So I'm assuming that this is either where we're going to be building our moon base. Yeah, obviously we need to build a base. So here, wait, so is the base permanent? Is it portable? How is this working? What is going on?
まだ今月のフィナーレまで終わってらっしゃらない。
Big thing that we rode in Lapis, something another. Yeah. Smileton is the entire dungeon as to why we can't have moon housing. Turns out having cute little bunnies make housing is not a good idea. Still makes me mad. It's going to require gathering and crafting. I wanted it to not involve specific. I mean, but the whole point, I feel like that's like asking for an exploration zone built around combat, but not wanting it to be combat jobs. I mean, like, it is content made for crafters and gatherers, you know? Like, it's kind of the point. I'm intrigued by but also worried because, like, I literally cannot access the Ashgardian restoration as it originally was, and I don't actually want to rush things because it feels like... Again, this is a per patch. Here's the thing, Oki. I know that, like, if you've missed Ashgardian restoration, it feels like it all happened quickly. It does not happen quickly. Like, you will have months to do this. You will get to experience it if you're there at all. Like, if you give it, like... Yeah, you're not... Yeah. Some of the buildings look like you can enter. Interesting gates in the back. Yeah, so we knew there was going to be a moon base. My question is the moon base always here by default and then it's developed outwards? Or are we like going out to stars and then seeding areas around the moon base with like remnants of some of the stuff that we acquired from other stars? Yeah. What if it's not though? Glams better be... Okay, those crystals literally look like frozen juice. They do. Yeah, Island Sanctuary didn't require crafting and gather, just okay. But that's because Island Sanctuary was specifically created to be slow life, right? Like that was created to be slow life content. This was created to be crafter gatherer content, right? It's not a Stargate. Yeah, can't wait to grind for 70 years for a Mecha Giga Luna Tender mount that requires 4 billion points. Here's the thing, Hydra. If you were doing it on patch, getting the mount for Diadem was not nearly as bad as it is trying to do it from scratch right now. So like, if you guys are doing this at all on patch, it's going to be a very different experience experiencing Diadem retroactively. Now that does not solve the problem of like new people coming in, but we don't know. Ooh, hoverboard. Ooh. Oh, it's rail lines. Okay, cool. So you can see you can track on these to go out to the other zones on the rail lines. The same way that like the tornadoes take you from place to place in the Diadem. Some of these buildings look like this is a very wide space. We need methods of transportation. So we have these zip lines. I better get that as a mount. Yeah. Yeah. I'm flying Cloud. I don't need a hoverboard. Death Stranding travel. Why did you give me false hope, Elio? I mean, there's still hope. Satisfactory in my Final Fantasy 14. I'm still curious because this is still Amari. Is this a first place or is this bringing back stuff from other stars? It feels like this is first place based off of this. These are zip lines in the back left to the right as well. These will have all the zip lines will have to be built. So there's going to be the communal aspect of probably working towards building these together that will make everybody's life easier. Deep Rock Galactic pipeline grinding. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm curious if this is just our home base or if this is all the part that we do together. Is the home base built from scratch and always present? Yeah. 14 turned into a Strand game. To be fair, 14 was always a Strand game, right? It's in terms of it's about the ties that bind us rather than about the things that break us apart. I'm just saying that, like, technically speaking, by Kojima's definition of what a Strand game is, 14's kind of a Strand game, you know? The same. Gonna be honest, I'm not really seeing anything here really grabbing. I guess I would say it depends on what you're into. If you're not into crafting gathering, definitely. If you are, what we have is a dynamic place where we're going to get to watch it build up and change and evolve over time as a byproduct of crafting and gathering and working towards points with a litany of rewards. On top of that, seeing different stars and different locales in a wide open, large space with maps that are looking quite freaking huge. So I'm not... Maybe that doesn't do anything for you. I will say, if you're into that content, this is kind of the problem I feel like, where if you're not into crafting gathering very much, this probably is like, eh. But if you're people like me, this for me is as big as Occult Crescent, if not bigger. So like, it's tough, right? There's a lot of effort to put into this that maybe only a certain, how much of the percentage of the player base is excited for it. That's always the problem though with 14, where we've had a wide breadth of interests. Not all these containers can be entered, but some of them can. Yeah. I get my Diadem Dino. I'm ready for this. Yeah. I was reserving my gathering crafting grind for cosmic exploration. Well, there you go, Max. Now your time. Also, if I can get Spacesuit Glam, I am 100% in. Yeah, Spacesuit Glam would be rad relish. Love the gathering, grind, crafting. Yeah. Well, on the bright side, Hydra, there's a good chance that you can probably just get away with just, unless they do the achievements, for instance, just like Diadem, which maybe they will, maybe they won't. You could probably just do gathering. I think my Culinarian at Max or Blacksmith. Yeah. Seeing this makes me want to see a Mass Effect collab in 14. I mean, look, there's some just straight inspiration clearly going on there. I mean, to be fair, that's just general, like, NASA future design. Yoshibi, I want this to have a strong feeling of doing it together to give it that MMO social feeling. Island Sanctuary was solo content, but this is meant to be done together, but you will still be able to enjoy it solo as well. I have everything to max level and I like doing all of them, but this setting is just not grabbing me. Yeah, personal thing. Yeah. I'm sorry, that's a bummer. On the bright side, Kaylin, remember, this is just one setting. It may be that when you see the other stars, you may be more interested. Because this is like a very simple like Mare, Moon, you know, NASA 1960s, like aesthetic going on. More or less. But I'm not really a crafter, but I'll check this out. But my botanist also needs leveling. There you go. Seeing thousands of people packed at the firmament working 24/7 was special. I will say, if you want to see some really cool stuff, at least checking it out will be cool. Watching, like, seeing a huge conga line of people crafting in a row, stuff like that, it is definitely a moment. I think the thing is, Kaylin, we're gonna get that. The degree to which it's tied into the narrative is gonna be interesting, and if we get it, what you're gonna see is not Ishgardian restoration style for that, but I think probably something more akin to Domin, for a couple reasons. But yeah, we need more casual community content. I want more. Yeah, there you go. You know this location will be filled with ding 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 dings of crafters on launch day. Yeah, it's made for me. I will play the fuck out of it. Yeah. So Infinite, the question is, are you gonna be playing on your NA or are you gonna play it on Oceania? You gonna join us in our insanity? You gonna join the Elio Congo line? Yoshi P, during Ishgard Restoration, it was more of a real-time thing, where only players who were there for each step could visually see the development and differences. But this time, we also want people to be able to look back, even if they only join the content at a later stage. Let's go! See, for all people are like frustrated with the 14 development team lately, they do listen to feedback. There's just a lag time on implementing it, changing it, or being able to actively address it, basically rooted in the live letters. Also, yes, here's the mecha they promised. They promised we would see mechas. We even had art for it. More on this during the part 2. We're going to talk about. They're going to talk about this more about. They're going to talk about cosmic exploration more during part 2, which remember will either be the first or second week of March. It's almost always 2 weeks before the patch. Be forewarned. I do not think this is a mount. This is, but it is it is mounted. But I don't think this is a mount that you're gonna unlock or earn. This is specifically like used in the diadem, the same way that the ethereal augur is. A weapon to surpass mount. Can we form full strong? Where's the megas? Yoshi P says, what game even is this? Oh, the drip! Oh!
I
really fucking love that outfit. I would wear it in real life. I really fucking like that outfit. Oh, that's a good outfit. Beam me up, Scotty. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, who wants to play 14 Star Trek Edition? Yeah. I need a blaster. Eorzean, good to glad to have you. You can probably make it to look like the star from you. The fuck, this is really sci-fi. Yeah, this is good shit. Yeah. Don't dye it red. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna assume Spock is an Ellison. Dye in red. Oh my god, dye it red and start wiping in raids. Oh god damn it, Infinite. That's gonna be your new thing, isn't it? The commander of light. Yeah. Yoshi P. Oh, Foxconn. Well, his face looks like the Warrior of Light, but what's that about? Yoshi P. Well, since the Warrior of Light is wearing the outfit, obviously that means players can obtain it. Ooh, look at that drip. I like that outfit. Damn it, Jim, I'm a sage, not a summoner. Man, 14 is such an interesting game to me because, one, Final Fantasies are always in a tension between science fiction and fantasy. They always have been since the first game. All of them are. And they're on a spectrum from one end to the other, some more in the middle. But 14 is so interesting not because it's developed more into technological. There's always been that aspect, Alag and what have you, even onto 2.0, and Ultimate Weapon and Garlemald. But what's interesting is the way we see like sort of a development because of a game that's existed now for 11 plus years. the translation of what like the science fiction or generalized science fantasy means as an evolution of our own technologies have shifted as well. More details next live letter. Yoshi-P, the Loporits will support your exploration throughout. Yes, good to glad to have you. Wait, diet red and use self-destruct is blue. I'm gonna make myself a Star Trek. Yeah. Yeah. So again, reminder that they pointed out that they don't want this to be like Ishgardian Restoration. They want people who come in later to be able to enjoy it retroactively. So I think you're going to see active efforts made to not have the same issues of restoration, or what we were talking about with Idleshire or Mordona or Revenant's Toll at the top. Just give us a lightsaber already. There's a lightsaber. Just go get the red energy sword from Palace of the Dead or Heaven on High, whichever one it is. Future proofing on content is always a good idea. Always. Yep. There's some people who philosophically feel, Falk, that like it's not inherently FOMO to design something that is ephemeral, and I think there's some fair merit to that. I generally would prefer when things are future proof. Things are future proofed. Is better. They better give us furniture to make our house look like a starship bridge, or the new speed weapons if you want to do a lightsaber. Sure, yeah, that's you, Yukio. That Lopper looks like he's about to be roadkill. I think it's because this you guys traveled in this together. Also, this outfit has got some Han Solo vibes. Or no, you know what? It's not Han Solo. Who is it? It's not Deckard. Who am I thinking about? There's some science fiction character. Oh, look at him! Oh, he's got the classic Loporit coloring. Wait, that's not. Is that naming way?
皆さんこの宇宙との疑惑確かに、というわけで非常に大きなコンテンツとして、7.X シリーズ全体通じてアップデートしていきますので、
If y'all notice
ご注目いただけたらなと思っております。
はい、コスモエクスプローラーのご紹介でした。
はい、ありがとうございます。さあ、ここまでが、ギャザラークラフターの皆さん向けの、新しいコンテンツのざっくり紹介だったんですが、続いてのコンテンツは、今度はバトル
That'd be really cute if they introduced naming way that way. Daksu, good to have you.
お願いします。
Futuristic class at some point in the future? I mean, Sage, but I get what you mean beyond that. Hey, new field operation, Occult Crescent. This is what we've been waiting for. And also, there's going to be some Final Fantasy V references up the wazoo. I can feel it. It's definitely naming way, yeah.
このアートワークは以前ね、フェスとかでも出しているんですけど、
ごめんなさい、今コメントで
Crafting chances of Zulu Warrior of Light, never tell me the odds.
どういうことですか?
No Corvos. It was never going to be Corvos. We always knew it was going to be Shade's Triangle Gobu. We've known that since FanFest before 7.0 came out. If we get Corvos, it's either going to be as a variant dungeon or a map in like 8.0 or onwards. If we go into like Maricidia, if we go to Maricidia, you could imagine like Corvos being a map or something. But yeah.
こちらもざっくり説明からいこうと思いますが。
But what will Nimue do in this game? Break money off your back account? In the treacherous waters of the Shades Triangle lies the Occult Crescent, an isle shrouded in mystery. Should you wish to unveil its secrets, you must explore the unmapped terrain and battle against the isle's inhabitants. Also, if you guys don't know where Shades Triangle is, it is the Bermuda Triangle. I mean, not to oversimplify it, but just to be frank.
あ、なるほど。三日月島を舞台に様々なバトルを通じ、もういきなりさ、死の三角回
Shades Triangle is in here.
しかないですね。もう中人心をくすぐられるフレーズ。
Cosmic for and this one for battle. Yes, this is like Eureka, Yukio. This is like Eureka. Okay.
本当だ。蜃気楼の島。
Yoshi-P says, I don't know what way this was, but look forward to it. Now for the battle content. This is the third installment. The third installment after Eureka and Bosnia. Oh, okay. He's saying this is going to be the third installment of their exploration zones. So this is Eureka, Bosnia, and now this. This will be a big field. You'll be able to explore it together with multiple other players. Yoshi-P says it looks very pretty. I should go back to M14 to EX with y'all since I do have EX2. I'm gonna just die even though I've cleared it a few times. I have taught every single EX in this game, Zatch, except for EX3. So I will gladly teach anybody or do calls for almost any fight in the game with EXs. I can't do every Savage. I don't have every Savage memorized, but I'm happy to definitely join in. Anybody who wants to join us for farming, you're welcome to. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to be willing to learn. I will teach you. This is a cool drop-off. Looks like we're probably... Well, I guess it could be a ship from anywhere. But it's interesting because it is a low-Minson vessel. Exclusive duties, instances of not fully explored. We've never been to... Yes, we have in Blank Duty. Yeah, Black Flame, Goosey Cloud. Cosmic is the new firmament. Yeah, to an extent. It seems like they're also solving a lot of the old issues from it, though. Crescent Isles and also... Yeah, FF5, Ronka Ruins below it. Yeah. What the fucky mucky mayhem? Okay, so this is cool. Wait, what? What the fuck? This is that's a Nimian ruin. Also, why are there giant orbs in the sky that are diffracting light? This isn't Lenosia. This is in Tyrol. This is Shade's Triangle. But that's a Nimian ruin. That gear also looks like a Nimian ruin. Are they gonna say that Nimians, like Lalafels from Nim, are responsible for creating this? And again, what is up with these things in the sky? What's going on here? What are those bubbles? Yeah. The island still looks so beautiful and calm. Dude, this place does look rad as hell. Well, that's why they're mysterious. Yeah. This is based on the Bermuda Triangle. Yes, it's also... There's gonna be a lot based on FF5. Expect a lot based on FF5. Okay. It's not... It's super... That's definitely Nimian architecture, and the rest is very similar. I think this place was founded by Lalafels. I think whoever built this, it was Lalafels that came over from... Lalafels who probably fled from the 6th Umbral Calamity. Probably, or something like that. Although, 6th Umbral Calamity is only 1,500 years ago. Well, we've seen Karn and other civilizations fall relatively quickly. Now, this doesn't look like anything we've seen. Though it's very FF5. I know what those are. Those are the floaty things you sometimes see in your eyes. The ruins are also the previous shot. Looked a lot like the structures over the bridges in Lower Lenosia. Structures lower. Yes, which are also Nimian ruins. Fleeing from the War of the Magi? Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a distinct possibility. I mean, that would be over 1,600 years ago, right? Wait, is my code? Eye floaters. Lalafels that may have fled from the South Sea Isles. Well, I mean, indirectly, yes. They fled from the South Sea Isles to would have ended up in Lenosia and then eventually become... Yeah. Yoshi P says, a space this size, designed like this, you'll probably fight something here. You will definitely be exploring the inside of that castle. Might be as big as the castle in Alamigo. Explorations fraught with danger. Out of Blue Ball, Elio, make Corvos a treasure dungeon. Hey, look, Uznair, we first got Thavnair as a treasure dungeon. Just because we get a treasure dungeon doesn't mean it's we can't go there as a map. Right? That's a weird ass. Well, honestly, it looks more like a Bandersnatch. Any lore from A Realm Reborn? What do you mean, any lore from A Realm Reborn? Like in this so far? I mean, like Nimian lore? Lalafell Bosnia is not something I expected, but I'm hella glad for getting one. Look, when we got Lalafels as a fundamental like linchpin for the lore and Dawn Trail, I wasn't expecting it. When the South Sea Isles was one of the most relevant things you could have done as side content, I was ecstatic. Surprised, but ecstatic. Engage in successive battles with a small party of allies. Yoshi P, the landscape might be the only thing calm about this place. Foxconn, this boss doesn't really fit the vibe. What happened? Yeah, Void Scent being there is an interesting thing. But then again, you know, if it's a Bermuda Triangle, Void Scent... Wait! Oh! You know what those orbs look a lot like? Those orbs look a lot like the floating domains in the sky in the Void. if you were like refracting them, I think this might be a place where the void and the source might overlap in a weird way.
まあ連続バトルですんで、
The orbs in the void. Yeah, the domains in the void. Yeah, exactly. Which would also be interesting because if the Nimians fled, it would make sense. Void sent issues would also potentially make sense with them having had to deal with the Maki, right? Yeah, see, more Void sent. Coca-Cola man, yeah. Pepsi man. Did Nim fight Mach? Yes. That that's part of the reason why when you go inside Ozma, when you're inside fighting Ozma, you'll notice there's a bunch of Nimian floating ruins. It's because Ozma came in and destroyed a bunch of Nim. The Maki were trying to conquer all of Nim and the Nimians, and they basically just tried to hold the line. Yeah. We packed this content with many different types of battle this time. Yoshi P. Ariman again. Yeah. Atmos Vice, please. Liquid Flame. Can't have FF5 resistance without it. Yeah. It's not really just destroyed. It consumed it inside itself. Yeah, it dimensionally like compressed it inside of itself. That one looks more like a Sin Eater. Have a good one, Deirdre. You're right. It does look more like a Sin Eater, or at least very umbrally aligned. Okay, I think what they're gonna go with is the Bermuda Triangle might be a place where the transition between reflections is a lot more warped and loose. A lot of Amdapori stuff looks like Sin Eaters at first glance. Yes, so there's a bunch of reasons for that. Part of which is that the Amdapori use light magics, which also translates umbrally, right? So it trends umbrally. So it makes sense that it would be that case. I think what... Yeah. You might think only one rock remains, but what is this cross AoE suddenly starts rotating? Yeah. Oh no, the players are flying. Nice timing for a screenshot. I am starting to wonder if the Bermuda, where the Shades Triangle is in the Occult Crescent, is a place where the lines between the reflections is thinner, or but like not in a way that there's a tear. Yeah, you got a crystal here. You got the AoEs on the ground, yellow crystals. You got a shell going on here. Damn, turtles can walk now? Always have been. Genbu, you know? Actually, I'm pretty sure this is just reusing Genbu's rig. That or it might be reusing Cagnazio. The bunny glam. Yeah, they know their player base. Yoshi P, a turtle shell on the left, some object on the right. What could they be for? We tried to only have the good things of Eureka and Bosnia. So apparently they tried to take all the strengths of Bosnia and none of the weaknesses, which is very interesting. Okay, I don't think it's Sin Eaters. I think what these are Soulkin. These are, I think, Soulkin statues. What's interesting about Soulkin statues is that the people primarily associated with it are the Amdapori. The creation of the Soulkin are Amdapori. So it would be interesting if this is also a place where people fled during the 6th number calamity as well. Please be Eureka-esque zones. Yes, I mean it is Eureka-esque zones. I mean, it was always that. It's an exploration zone. Nimian statue guys. Yeah. Yeah. Amdapori statues. Yeah. Oh god, that looks scary, yeah. It could be a thinning in the void, but it also could be Nim versus Maki versus Amdapori goodness. Yeah, okay, I'm starting to get that vibe for sure. Now that we're seeing multiple statues, we're seeing Void Scent, we're seeing Nimian architecture. But the question is why did the history of the the Shades Triangle end up like that? Or was the Shades Triangle once a place off the coast of Lenosia and it ended up here? I mean, that'd be the second time we have an exploration zone that's an isle that teleported halfway across the world, but hey. It's not a lot, but it is weird that it happened twice. Hey, 48-man raid. Challenger raid with a group of up to... I know Bramble's going to be happy. Daryl, good to see you. Glad to have you. Amdapori. Yeah. I wonder if that's why it's a triangle. Yeah. Ooh, well, yeah. One isle for... Yeah. Maybe the sphere in the sky or Ozma. Maybe, but Ozma was only designed as like a... There weren't that many Ozmas. Right, is the thing. Is that in lore, it's not like there was a whole bunch of them. Some sort of neutral meeting ground for the ancient civilizations. Yeah, but why go all the way, sail all the way across the Indigo Deep just to have a meeting when you could have just used Central Eorzea, right? I guess not yet fame, but
使うんでしょうね。
challenge a raid with a group of up to 48 players. This 48-man raid will be there from the start, so you'll be able to do it literally on patch. Yeah, 7.2 is going to have a metric crap ton to do.
さらにもう一枚
I think a lot of the... a
うん。
lot of the...
何人が
I'm gonna say this. I don't mean this harshly, but a lot of the bitching people have been doing about a lack of content is just gonna completely go away with 7.2. I will also be laugh pretty hysterically if like general
できるだけ集めて
feelings around Dawn Trail also shift, and that's all it
とに
took.
かくたくさんの人たちでいろんな
Yeah, from the start, yeah. Even if there's only one Ozma, maybe it can be in multiple places at once. No, because it was defeated. And it, if it could be in multiple places at once, there are all sorts of issues if it can do that. Demon Wall 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, could it be something that in the War of the Magi transport an area into the Shades Triangle? It could. Again, kind of already did that with Eureka, but good.
ちょっとシステム周りを少し
Good to see you. Yeah, good to have you. Elio, it's nice to see you again. Good to see you as well. We really put in a variety of different kind of battle contents into this, so anyone can come and have something they would enjoy doing together with others. On leveling, to enter, players must have a discipline of war or magic. Oh, so we start at, you have, this is not a leveling zone. This is, you should need to be at 100.
こちら、まあ、レベル101ジョブあれば突入可能なんですが、コンテンツ内では
While exploring the Occult Crescent, players will be able to raise their knowledge level, greatly influencing the outcome of battles against the creatures of the Isle. I think this is them testing also what they might want to do for post 100. This is them trying some stuff out. Honestly, this is what we were expecting. Based off of some other stuff that they showed off, this is what I was expecting them to do.
この島のナレッジを
Yoshi P is making me do stuff I have to put in effort. Eureka vibe's increasing. This makes me happy. Good, good, good.
なので、独自の成長が、こちらにございます。はい。
Knowledge equals elemental level. Yes, but good. I guess we're getting new deep dungeon this expansion, so we can use that for leveling instead. Yeah, we'll also get variant dungeons as well, almost assuredly. It's interesting that we haven't heard about one yet, though. Phantom jobs. Yeah, see, this is what I was waiting for them to talk about. That we saw an image of this a while ago where we saw the jobs from 5.
クレセントアイルに独自のジョブっていうものがあります。の特性っていうのが
When equipped, they will grant players new actions that can be used with their main job. Ooh, I like that idea. On the Isle, players will have access to unique jobs known as phantom jobs. So basically, you have your job, but you get a phantom job. So basically, they're making the job system from 5. Yep, it's Bart's. For those who don't know, main character from 5. Or at least one of them. Starting main character.
気になるな。これが
Can't wait for Phantom Necromancer. God damn it, Infinite. God damn it. Subclass system. It's a sub-job system from 11. Unique job. No, I don't think it's the sub-job system because it says on the Isle, players will have access to unique jobs known as Phantom jobs, which kind of distinguishes them jobs as unique. Yeah. So I think it's more like 5's job system than it is like 11's. Phantom Geomancer. Yeah. Main job, warrior, plus phantom. Okay, no, maybe you guys are right. Maybe you guys are right. Gain access to phantom job, monk. Gain access to occult actions such as phantom kick, occult counter, improving your... No. This is... I think you guys are right. It is effectively creating the sub-job system from 11 and combining it. Yeah, phantom job, bard. Gain access to actions such as mighty march, improving your supportive capabilities. Yeah. You're right. It is a sub-job. This is... Hey, for all of you guys who have wanted talent trees, congratulations. This is your talent trees. 5's job system is what 14 has. Yeah, to a greater or lesser degree, you're not wrong. But I was saying more like starting. My point was less like that's correct. I was more like imagining from what the descriptor said at first. It sounded like you just pick one of the jobs. But this is you do pick one of the jobs, but it is augmenting your current job. Like with Essence's logos, lost actions back together. Yeah. Like warrior with a raise. Yo, it's time to play some Bravely default. Yeah. Bro, I'm so hyped. Yeah. The glams from the stone be classic armor sets that are equipable by any role. That'd be cool. Yeah, so these are some of the jobs. So how will Phantom Job System look like? So you've got Geomancer, Ranger. Hey, literally Phantom Geomancer. Ranger, Berserker, Cannoneer. Yeah, it's literally the FF5 jobs. These are all FF5 jobs. Yeah. These are literally the FF5 art.
確かに。and more まだある。
これが全てではないですが。
Randolph, these might not be the only ones. There may be more because they said Bard, right? But there's no Bard on here. I'm assuming that they're gonna have almost all, if not all, of the FF5 jobs. Foxconn, there's so many jobs I haven't even heard of. Wait, Cannoneer is an advanced job from 2013. You know what else is an advanced job? Oh no, don't. I know where you're going with this, Infinite. You know what else? I do know what else.
MMORPG としての14のメカニクスに、はい、ちょっと活かしづ
Does
らい。
this confirm that these won't be jobs that are added to the main game? No. This is side content. This is an exploration zone. Exploration zones are where they try out weird things like this. There will be more jobs. This is not the system going forward for jobs. This is the system for Occult Crescent and only an Occult Crescent. Let's be very, like, there will still be normal jobs added next expansion. And you will not take this out of the Occult Crescent. You will not be picking one of these when you're going to do a raid or a trial or anything like that. Chemist, dude, I want Chemist to be an actual job, man. I mean, Monk is in the game and it's a Phantom job too. Yeah, we need glam of the Phantom jobs as a reward. Yeah, for max amp. On the contrary, this will let them gauge what jobs are popular so they bring it to the core game. Yeah, if anything. Although I wouldn't necessarily go that far, mainly just because, frankly, a lot of the identity for a majority of them is already taken. Ranger already exists in Bard, Time Mage already exists in Ass, Geomancer already, for the most part, effectively now exists, spread throughout the casters. Berserker's already Warrior, Cannoneer, basically are taken up by Machinist, Chemist. Honestly, Chemist I would love. Geomancer would, I think, still potentially work, but I don't think we'll see it. Okay, these Phantom jobs sound like they're your Logos Lost. Yes, this is. Sorry, I didn't explain this quicker. This is your Logos Lost action system. That is what this is. This is the unique progression complexity mechanic for the exploration zone that's the Occult Crescent. There are 3 exploration zones in this game: Eureka, Bosnia Zadnor, and now Occult Crescent. Each one has a unique system of progression within it. You've got the elemental levels and the elemental wheel and the actions in Eureka. You've got or they have a different name, but you have the lost actions of Zadnor and Bosnia, which are much more in depth and you also have the medal system. You now have Phantom jobs in this. Geo was basically Stormblood ass. No. Okay, from a lore standpoint, Geomancer is not Stormblood ass. Geomancer is fundamentally applying the same principles, but also so is White Mage. So Geomancer is inverting the relationship between star and self. Instead of pulling from the heavens, pulling from the earth below. But like, in terms of existence throughout multiple games, Geomancer and its the way it operates with elements, or like places in like Swallow's Compass, is just basically, if Geomancer is the same thing as Ast, White Mage Conjurer is effectively the same thing as Ast. In that, because Geomancers are pulling energy from the star beneath their feet in the same way that Conjurers are pulling from ambient aether. Okay, Yoshi P. FF14 is an MMO after all. So looking into the future, we want to implement new jobs in 8.0 and beyond. But for some players, there are obviously jobs from past FF series that I have a lot of memories with. But unfortunately, some of those jobs simply wouldn't fit the concept of Final Fantasy as an MMO. Time Mage, as an example. Thankfully, finally says, I've been saving for years. We're never going to get Time Mage. The reason we're not going to get Time Mage is literally they kind of did a little bit of Time Mage in Ass, and they took it back out for a bunch of reasons from a lore standpoint, from a combat standpoint. Anyways, you're never going to see Time Mage. I'm sorry, Brian. But we did think maybe in this kind of content, as a Phantom support job, maybe we can go a little crazy with it. So there's a small chance that some of these jobs might make it into the main game in the future. I was told players know and say to don't trust Yoshi P, so take that as you will. Man, Chemist would be rad as if is ranged. Being so inspired by FF5, maybe we'll see stuff like Interdimensional Rift that would explain the orb-like things that might be reflections. Well, the orbs aren't going to be reflections. One, the reflections exist overlapping on it in similar space, so like the reflections couldn't be shrunk down like that in spheres. They're not going to be reflections. They could be tied to things in a reflection, and then yeah, if it's tied to the Interdimensional Rift, one, that works well with 5, and 2, also literally almost all the content for the past 3 years has been focusing on Interdimensional Rift, like Dawn Trail, the Key, the Void. There's no question to me that there's some amount of probably IDR or reflection stuff dealt with. The question is just how much. What's to come in patch 7.2? Okay, also, Occult Crescent will keep being updated throughout the 7.x series.
こちらはですね、前回のシリーズ
I need
が
this already. Well, it's only
まあ複数のも
it's only about 6 weeks away.
たくさん作りたいというお声もあったので、
Reflections, the reflections, yeah. The advantage of the field operation is not needing to have near perfect balance so they can get crazy with it. Exactly, Mex. I love how balanced 14 is. Operation zones are the best place for them to do wild shit because it doesn't matter if it's broken. The same way that like blue is awesome as a limited jobs because it doesn't need to be balanced. It can just be crazy.
そうか。難しい。もう一生答えはないんです。難しいのを作れば、こう。
We're never gonna see time mage, he says, as we literally are getting a time mage. No, wait, it's a phantom job.
もう二度とやらんわみたいな。
That's not the same. Not the
塩
same.
梅が難しいんですよ。まさにそれ。
I mean, he is correct to not trust Yoshi P in saying some of these things. Time Mage should never be implemented. Example being Red Mage. He said at the time that they could never implement it as they would. You're not wrong. Never trust Yoshi P. Yeah. Had to make it a hybrid job. Yeah. It's still a job. Great.
アートマっていうものがあって
We always get the feedback that our weapon side quests are too much. Then we made them easy. Now they are too easy. It's difficult finding the right balance. So this is talking about relics.
みんなで一生懸命ねやって
We got a lot of feedback around the world that players wanted to feel exploration content like this, so we listened and tried to put as much as we could in. So this time, we went back to the beginning. So, what if there are atmas? No! At least it's not books. As long as they don't do books. As long as they don't do books.
できるだけそのいい塩梅を目指してはいきたいんですけど、やっぱり強烈な思い出とか体験に残る
That's deeply unfair, Kaylin. Endwalker Relics were not stupid and lazy. Endwalker Relics were a calculated attempt to try and specifically create content that could be relatively simple and straightforward for people to do, where you could do any of the content you want to earn tomestones for it. I'm not saying you have to like it. But I will say personally, I really enjoyed it and allowed me to play whatever I wanted. I mean, and just lazy is just, I think, it's just an unnecessarily cruel remark because it was described exactly why they did it and intentional in doing so, even if it wasn't a successful result. At some point, XP Series 2 methods will be available for weapon enhancement. Exploring the Occult Crescent. Okay, so they're doing kind of like what they did in Bosnia.
どんどん武器も育てていくと。はい。レジスタンス系ですね。ただまあその内容がどうなっているかは
Books context. The Realm Reborn relic weapons took. You had to do a bunch of books to finish them off, and they're terrible and annoying and very frustrating. They're just boring. I maintain the only problem with books was you could only pick up one at a time. Yes, if you could pick up all the books at one time, it would be fine. Or engaging with existing activities. Yeah, so like Bosnia. Stay tuned for more details in the live letter. Yeah. I think Shadowbringers have the best relic progression because the worst, most time-consuming steps only need to be done once. Yeah, I think broadly I would agree that my favorite is probably... I will take Endwalkers well over Heaven's Word or a Realm Reborn. Because the Realm Reborn just sucks. And Heaven's Word is mostly tomestones anyways, and then light farming. Which is just unsync it and then just hit the same boss 24 times, you know? AR Relic Queen. Yeah, jokes on you, I've already did that. Gotta agree with Kaylin. Attacked on excuse after the fact doesn't really change. That's, okay, why are you guys being so harsh, though? It's not attacked on excuse that they explained after the fact. When they did it preemptively, they said, hey, this is our intent with this. Let us know how you feel. I'm not saying, I'm not arguing you guys need to like it. I'm not even arguing you shouldn't be critical of it. But you're saying the devs are being lazy, and that's just unwarranted. It's our opinion. Yes, and I'm saying your opinion in calling devs lazy is unnecessarily cruel. That's my opinion. And critique the thing. Don't critique the people saying they're being lazy. Unless you can demonstrate that they're being lazy, which all the evidence suggests otherwise. Methods for weapon enhancement. If you keep playing the Occult Crescent, you will be able to make a weapon, and for players who prefer the existing content, that will also be an option. But I cannot say yet how that will look exactly. Okay. Yeah, Heaven's Word is literally tombstone farming with extra steps. It's literally just tombstone farming, but then you also have to go out of your way to buy all the specific mats, and then also you need to do light farming, which is just hitting one Alexander boss 24 times. Yeah. Light farming would be done automatically since you would run those raids weekly. Yeah, but if you do them now, you don't run them weekly. Also, not everyone was running them weekly. Like, you still have to do the same thing. Yeah. My point is, like, it's not... that's not the case currently. Yeah. Are we gonna 3D print our weapons? Yeah, that'd be funny. I actually think books is sort of a good idea. They just need to be less annoying books. I think Shadowbringers is the way to go on that one. Ever Relics are just more expensive, and Walker Relics at the end of the day. Yeah, they require more tomestones. I think I would say that Endwalker Relic is more of an afterthought than what any previous relic is. It is lazy, yes. Intentionally, yes. That's not lazy, it's intentionally simple. You don't... Guys, lazy would be if you just get them. You have to go do content. You just can be very generalized about that content. It's a specific design ethos. Again, I'm not arguing you need to like it or agree that it was a good way to go. I'm not even entirely sure it's a good way to go. But, like, it's not lazy. You don't just click a button and unlock the weapon. You do have to go do content. You just get to select what you want rather than have to do one or maybe two specific type of content on loop. I love Endwalker Relics just being tomestones. Allow me to grind whatever content I chose. I've done parties of all the other extract relics. I just do not like any of them. Too grindy for me. Yeah, but back then you didn't even farm the same boss. You could. Yes, but we're not back then. And we haven't been back then for 7 years, right? Yeah, people would run all 4 bosses weekly. Like, it still is. Most of the existence of the Heavensward Relic has been a problem. Has been like how it's been. But every media tour feedback was similar all around the world that people wanted something more engaging and memorable. There's going to be 2 exploration contents, but don't forget, there will also be a new raid. If it was lazy, we would get the weapons for doing Hildy, no tomes needed. Yes. You had to run through previous Manderville. Yeah. You had to do Manderville, you had to clear a trial, you also then had to go do content, but you were allowed to selectively do what you want rather than doing very specific tasks. Like, I'm not sure why you need to go farm 20 Fates in Heavensward is somehow, like, less lazy design than selectively choose what you want to farm the appropriate amount of tomestones. I think having people be oriented towards having specific actions is a good way to go. But I don't know. It was uninspiring. It was uninspired. Absolutely. I'll totally agree with that. It's definitely uninspired. But it was intentional. It was thought of. Oh, God, they have photos now. Oh, God, we've got cameras. Remember, emotes aren't lore. I like the effort. Yeah, me too. I definitely agree with you. Again, I think it's better that it's not that system, to go forward that it's go back to the Shadowbringer system. I'm gonna go to bat for, like, let's critique the idea, not the devs, unless they demonstrate that the devs need to be specifically critiqued on a personal level. It's a license deal. Yeah. Collaborations with Instax, the instant camera from Fujifilm. We are delighted to introduce all new emotes with the release of patch 7.8. Let's all be critical, but let's also be thoughtful. You know? Stay tuned on those. Is this going to be for Japan only? Also, Yoshi, more details about the release schedule in the next live letter, which I can't say how long that will be. Yeah. Like, next live letter will be almost certainly March. Here, let's pull up. Okay, let's see. March, late March. So we're gonna see patch will either be on, will probably be on the 25th, which means that we will see the live letter probably on the 11th. Instax is fairly popular here in the AU as well. Oh, I mean, it's not super popular in America. I mean, it's kind of popular. It was more popular like 5+ years ago. Probably Japan only, the Mog Station globally later. Yeah, probably. Makes March 7th glam. Yeah. I never said I just didn't like what they did for Endwalker. I prefer Eureka's relics the most, even I will say that Endwalker was fun. Small relic grinding show. The problem with Eureka is that you need people to do it. Like, it's not relic grinding for Eureka if you're completely doing it solo kind of sucks, right? I really like Bosnia. Yeah, Bosnia is great. But the Bosnia system, I think the Bosnia system is great. You have to buy an $80 camera to get it. More details in the lodestone soon. So I think Edward Relic getting it would have been fine if it had required more tomestones. But then people would be complaining about how painful the grind was and maybe the lack of direction. I feel like if you increase the tombstone amount, that's not going to solve the problem for the majority of people who are frustrated with it, because the majority want to be directed. They don't want to be told, go create your own direction and enjoy what you want. They want to be directed towards what to do, to be frank, right? Is Pazuzu up? Yeah, exactly, Caleb. Yeah. Why can't they just make the emote and unlock through Cosmic or Shades? That's annoying. Because basically Tokyo culture and how like cross promotions work is that they wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for the cross promotion. You know, weirdly modern Eureka grind is actually loosened up a lot. If you find dead instances, you can pop a lot repeatedly, and people tend to help a lot more. Well, but what I'm saying is people help out Hydra. You need people, right? My point is not you need a whole map of like 100 people or anything, but you can't just solo it. I think budget balance grinding interesting content in dungeon. Nothing really had matched that sense, but too soon to tell. I mean, to be fair, nothing has even, there hasn't been an exploration zone since Bacon, so there hasn't been anything really to compare it directly to. I mean, the only thing could is the grind would be the Relic grind, in which case you only have the comparison point is Manderville and Tomes. I wouldn't be surprised if you got a new emote for buying the film pack rather than the camera itself. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be also much easier to get. Warriors of Light who are subscribed to Final Fantasy 14 can receive a discount basic service fee for Final Fantasy 14 11. Hey! Warriors of Light who are subscribed to Final Fantasy 14 can receive a discounted basic service fee for Final Fantasy 11 for 30 days. It's a great opportunity for those who have yet to step into Vana'diel, for those who would be taking a break. Except for instead, what they should do is just make it, if you subscribe to 14, you get a discounted 11 subscription. Just do that. Don't do the 30 days. Just do it. Just do it!
まさに11があったからこそ今14があるということでもあるので
Can we just get combined sub? So here's the problem with the combined sub, Nevik, is that you would either need to increase the sub for 14, which a lot of people don't care about 11 and would just be frustrated that their sub is going up. And if you made it the same price, you are losing a whole chunk of change of the money that is going into the people who are subscribing to 11, and the majority of that money is necessary to make sure that 11 remains supported, right? Just give us 11 for free. If you want 11 to die, then yes, they can give you 11 for free. But like it takes money to run things. You know, gonna break out my PS2 for this, yeah. It would be a resub for me, yeah. It has to be opt-in, yeah. Can we just combine? Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, you know, I have some chips from those guys. Make the 11 for free for 14 veterans. What does that mean? Like, are you saying if you subscribe for you know 1,000 days, you get access to 11? Because again, that still doesn't really solve the problem, you know. Also, like 1/3 of the 14 player base are on console. There's no FF11 on console currently. Yeah, another issue is that a large chunk of your player base can't even play the game. So if you raise the price, you're raising the price with no value add. And then for a bunch of people, you're raising the price with no value add anyways because they're not going to play 11. You know. I still want my damn pizza emote? Yeah. Bring back emotes. Anything that's time limited, bring back the Snickers mount, the poop copper coal. Yeah, we need a potato chip emote. Honestly, we do need a potato chip emote. You're not wrong. Taco flavored chips. Okay, look, we have a Moogle with a sombrero. I guess what more do I want? Okay. Yoshibi, we received positive feedback about Juno from players who played 11 before, so we thought that this might also be a good opportunity to make an entry into the world a little easier for 14 players. Here's the thing. Here's what they should do. Just make the 11 subscription for 14 players discounted. That will solve that solves the problem, right? Like half price or whatever. I mean, it doesn't solve the problem, but it's a solution. Job specific mitt for Dragoon, please. Miss my pizza emote, making my pizza face on Dawn Trail 1. Oh my, yeah, the all raw pizza face. Yeah, the male all raw pizza face. Or if I ideally needs a potato chip emote. There's a sabotender on the box, Elio. Isn't reacting. Where's the sabotender on the box? I only see a Moogle. Where's the god? Give me my. Oh, wait, no, that's the corn servant. That's not a sabotender. Corn Servant. Also, Infinite, could you do some of the links, please? Square Enix would like to do a relaunch remaster of 11 that is available on all platforms. 14 is available to start offering joint subscriptions. Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, what I would look to more is like the way that like Lightspeed is doing the 14 mobile. I would look the same way they were planning to do with 11, what they were going to do with Nvidia, and then it fell through. Yeah, because it was the Corn Servant. Okay, I was about to say, like, am I missing something? Also, friendly reminder, just put the first actual full video out for the first time in quite a few months, other than shorts, while my elders been recovering. Lyrical Lore Oblivion is up if you want to go check it out after this is done. Also, you want to join our Discord, discord.gg/Eorzean archives, where we have a community. We talk about lore and all sorts of 14-related stuff, and we have community events on most days. Usually we have maps on Thursdays, however, we're taking a little bit of a break from that. We've got EX farming on Wednesdays and Saturdays. We got Lore Book Club on Friday. We got Monday Fate Nights, and we've got other stuff in as well. I think giving 11 for free to players of 14 who have been playing since 2.x, but giving discounts to 14 players is also nice. And the thing is, giving it to 2.x Gobu is like, you then just kind of breed frustration to your player base, because if you were there from 1.0, it makes sense, your name's in the credit, you go get a discount, that's special. But 2.x is an arbitrary line, right? Because you, like, if it was like for 1.0 players, maybe that's something, but why 2.x players and not 3.x players? And then why, you know, and then also how many people are even getting that? Is that probably at this point maybe 10% of your, 15% of your player base? So how useful is that as to solving the problem? And then also it like doesn't, all the people who are wearing around 2.x, they can't do anything, and they're just like, well, I just don't get to try it. That sucks. Whereas like if the point is to incentivize 14 players to try playing 11, you want to hit at the broadest swath you can without hurting the income of 11, so that 11 can still be maintained, right? Not even just from it takes X amount to maintain 11, but also it takes X amount to maintain 11 and make sure that the higher ups say that even if it's making money, it's not enough money, let's shut it down, right? Hey, V, you got V. Which one did you get? Did you get the dress, the map dress? I wish they would release something like this in men's style. Like, all we got is this fucking giant crystal shirt. I want the fucking cactar dress, but I don't look good in dresses. Do we still have leftover wine from Sakaguchi-san was here? These do make you want to have a drink. Anyone who buys these, please read the description on the back and have a clip of me reading it on the side. Won't get remastered. Don't get your hopes up. Yeah, the game stays on life support because it still has a dedicated player base. I would need to see a huge surge in new players and retention for Square Enix. Yeah, I think there's a very low likelihood. But I do think the fact that it's on support mode and maintained at all is, you know, is a wonder unto itself. Really wanted the map dress. Aw, I'm sorry, Oni. Hopefully, maybe either be a second run, or you'll see, or there'll be you know, people will be selling it on eBay or whatever. Not like scalping, but like later down the line. Or just get the top. Yeah. And they still would, yeah. Buying a map dress just to cut it and sew it into an actual map. I mean, it's probably one of the higher res versions of the map that we've seen. And this is what frustrates me. I fucking know that they have a 4K resolution version of the goddamn map somewhere. And they just, I don't understand. Why? Just release it. Either release it in-game, or if you're not going to release it in-game, release it in the goddamn press kit. Release the maps in the press kit. Release the maps, Yoshi P! I want that leyline hoodie. Yeah. The one Foxconn has on. Mapgate. God, this reminds me of old live letters, like earlier day live letters that were way more, not off the cuff necessarily, but like, who of them is gonna wear the dress? I swear to God, if they pan back over and Foxconn's wearing the dress, I'm gonna be, Look, if the man can do Nightmare Way, I will say he's pulling off that trench coat. So cool fact about the trench coat, on the inside of it, the inside is lined with like jobstone pattern. You have to file Freedom of Information Act request to get those maps. Yeah, definitely crepe. That's definitely my plan. Still love soaking in the train live letter. Yeah, yes, yeah, that's a great one, Kim. I already miss Yoshi P cosplay. When you say Yoshi P cosplay, Yukio, are you saying you miss like when he does the cosplay like at FanFest? honestly would get the map dress for my significant other, but on top of being broke, I could not see her wearing it without significant alteration due to her shape. Yeah. Also, these are, I mean, at least these are not just Japanese fit, but also. Where's Token, by the way? Hopefully he's doing all right. Yeah, last we heard he's been doing all right, just probably hard at work. He doesn't tend to show up in the live letters unless he's like either like in the office nearby or like specifically needed for some reason. The job ones. Yeah, you'll see another. You'll see the next. You'll see Yoshi-P in another cosplay in next FanFest, which will probably be next spring. Probably about a little over a year from now. What's sad is I can tell just by looking at the map dress that it uses the same 2K files we already have. God damn it. There's no way in hell that they don't have a higher resolution version of that, just because the artist drawing it would have like didn't draw it compressed that bad. Yeah, I forgot. Soken did the original song for Kenny Omega, New Wrestling Entrance. Right, he did that. Oh man, I'm even more excited for Arcadian. Who's excited for Disco Sabotender with maracas? Can we have an East Coast FanFest? Probably not, Nevik, because effectively, think about it from a geographic standpoint. One, Vegas is easier, has a lot of, Vegas and like California have specific places that can host a lot of people, right? Like Anaheim or something. They're closer to Japan, so it's easier to fly out. It covers a section, whereas like the London is effectively, if you think of like Vegas as the left side, right? And then you think as London as the center, and then Japan is the right side, you kind of have like the three dedicated zones, you know. Kenny Omega final boss. Yeah. Uncompressed doesn't necessarily mean bigger, it just means uncompressed. Yes, yeah. I'm just saying that like, are you? So you're saying it's 2K file, but you're not saying it's compressed file. Next EUFF Final FanFest is hopefully Berlin again. Excited for that. Yeah, it's Berlin. Yeah, Crape, you should go. Ray, you should go. Infinite, you should go. Y'all should meet up. Also, just so everyone knows, there's not likely to be a lot more left. Usually, other than like some little ancillary details that Yoshi-P might mention offhand. Yeah, I wasn't even on stage, but I had lost my voice after the event. Apparently, Yoshi-P lost his voice after the last Primals event. Has anyone played the tabletop game yet? I haven't. I have not had a chance to play it. I need to get people together to play it. The raw could have been 2K as well. The file format that uses textures just as compression, where the raw wouldn't. Yeah, at least having the raw 2K would be fine. It's just the compression artifacts are such a. Crape, didn't you pre-order it from in a really weird way though? The coat Yoshi-P was wearing was size extra small. Same for the Morble he's wearing. You basically ordered it from a store that said it promised to buy it and then sell it to you. Like his fat cat lower lumbar support cushion. Yeah.
なのでアートワークに暁のメンバー
Demon is behind. Do you want Berserk to be a tank class?
出てきたりします。
I think the thing is that the Berserker, I don't think you're gonna the Phantom classes I don't think are gonna be like your class. What they're gonna do is augment. So like you're gonna get Berserker effects regardless of what job. So you I think that's it's not so much that the Phantom class is a job. You're going to have your job plus X. So like if you take Bard, you'll get abilities associated with Bard. You know, if you take Chemist, you'll get abilities associated with Chemist. Regardless of what, if you take, you get the same abilities whether you're on Warrior or Sage. Berserk effect, you can control yourself under a buff. Hey, I mean that's not necessarily untrue for majority of Savage Raiders. We've made many. Yoshi, we've made many artworks for seasonal events in the past. How many times have we made a different artwork for the same event? So we unlocked Scions to appear on those artworks in the future, but this is only for artworks. It doesn't mean that they will show up in the event in game itself, starting with the Princess Day event. So basically they're saying that you can get access to all seasonal artwork for characters even if they don't show up in the event. To exemplify, this is not just an off-the-cuff example. If Y'shtola had appeared in an old Hatching Tide event, you would be able to still get that. You would now be able to get that artwork, but it doesn't necessarily mean that any characters are going to start appearing again. I wonder if taking a high-res picture of the cloth map from the collector's edition would be any good. No, Ryan, I've tried. I have it. It's not a lot better. Oh, that set was 60.
だから特定のキャラクターを出そうっていうのは本当無理で破綻するじゃんこれ。なんかだってなんか飲んでなってたやみたいなのとか
さっきは全部出たけど
そういろいろあるのでねおかしいな。
I don't know where I set the one from the collector's edition. Maybe it's still in the box.
それがあって
I have the Shadowbringers desk mat, and I have to say it's amazing. Yeah, I'm slowly, obviously, as you can see in the thing above my head, I'm slowly trying to collect all the collector edition boxes. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting the Shadowbringers and Endwalker ones in particular. I want something fierce because those things are amazing. The game of Time Mage doesn't make sense in 14. It would mean we don't need to smash a train to sing. I have no idea. Sorry, I can't. The thing is Time Mage you can make somewhat work by basically how Astrologian's limited time stuff works, where like you're not actually changing time. You're actually effectively acting like quickening Aether.
出してもいいやねみたいな声があればね、またいろいろ考えていこうと思いますし、まあこういうところはずっと堅くなにルールを守っているというより、状況に合わせてというか、皆さんのなんかそのプレイ動向とか、
Yoshi P. Because seasonal events were always something players of any MSQ progression could participate in, it was difficult to allow for certain NPCs to show up during events. It would lead to confusion and plot holes. Gravity, space time. I mean, Time Mage Phantom job is primarily just going to be how you get the haste and effect and Crescent content, to be real about it. Yeah, exactly. Gravity always exists as. Yeah. Yeah, but we're talking about, I was talking about time, not space. Like space is already a thing. I mean, gravity is used, dimensional compression is used by Ozma, the like reflections, like there's tons of that. I just was talking about time. Next time the producer live letter will be longer, be prepared. Yeah, this was only 2.5 hours, so this is what I was called. Expect probably for like a 4-hour live letter as they go deep into the Arcadian stuff, they go deep into cosmic exploration, go deep into, and plus other unannounced things. Well, I'm a bit disappointed we won't get Time Mage as a full-fledged job. It's still nice to actually have it in some way in the game. Yeah, I think this will be, I think the exploration zones are wonderful as a crossover point, allowing them to put in things that maybe don't work in the broader game for people who like want to enjoy them still. You know, like the same way that Eureka is like appealing to like people like kind of more the 11 style. I think y'all should be really excited for Occult Crescent. Again, 7.2 is going to be jam-packed with stuff to do. If you've been feeling like there's been a content drought up to this point, whether that's accurate or not, the 7.2 is going to be, the point 2 is always the point at which you start to actually see a large amount of content. Imagine Isaac Newton seeing the conversation about gravity. Yes, okay, I understand in real world physics, space-time is, We're talking about 14s. Yeah. Gonna pop out now. Yeah, have a good one, Hydra. I don't think we need any more haste in the game. People already rush through the dungeons. Yeah, the thing is that haste doesn't work also because of windows. So you, like, for instance, 2-minute windows, you can't. The reason there's a reason they took haste out of the game. Haste used to be in this game. Like, you could have things that, but there are reasons it was taken out. There were reasons that they removed stuff from Ast around it because it became a problem. From standpoint, it was a joke. Kaylin, I don't know if you do around here. One thing you'll have to understand is I always take things at extreme face value and respond accordingly. People get, yeah, you realize, Elio, when Phantom Necromancer turns out to be real, I'm just going to have it on and hang around you constantly. Yes, Lil, I'm fairly certain Infinite will join you in that madness. Haste could just be a 2-minute cooldown. I mean, a ton of job abilities turned into a simple things when converted to 14. I mean, but if you're a 2-minute cooldown, then you're just either using it off cooldown. You're either using it and drifting, which is a problem, or you're using it off cooldown, in which case it's why is it? I mean, that's just your boost then, you know. Haste was in Baja. Yeah, I did forget. Yeah, Haste was in Baja. Yeah, Haste is great as a mechanic in Occult Crescent. It will be great if they use it with Time Mage and stuff in Occult Crescent because, again, it doesn't have to be balanced. It doesn't matter, right? Night. Yeah, have a good night. Okay, I'm off to bed as well. Well, actually, I'm probably going to be awake before I crash for a bit. Again, thank you, Miuna, and the Final Fantasy XIV Discord for your translations. Thank you very, very kindly. Friendly reminder, if you want to go on Discord, discord.gg/Eorzean Archives. You can support us over on Patreon, where you can get your name in the banner above my head, as well as your name color change over the Discord. If you want to support us, you can support us with Super Chats here. We just put out a first video in a while because I was off for health reasons for quite a bit, but Lyrical Lore Oblivion is up now, and we should be back to semi-regular content. I don't want to make any too many promises about the rapidity of it, but we should be seeing more content regularly. Definitely come check out our stuff. I'm looking forward to patch 7.2. I was very excited. I don't want to say, like, I don't want to seem under excited, but, like, yeah, this is what I was expecting, and it looks like it's going to be a ton of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing Cosmic Exploration and Occult Crescent with y'all. We'll definitely be doing Occult Crescent nights. I'm sure Bramble will be very excited for that. Yeah, thanks for everyone for being pleasant. Yeah, to you too, man. I hope you have a great day. This chat was much nicer than the Square Enix chat. Yeah, we again, critical but thoughtful. All people are welcome to be in this chat and be critical. Like, you can be like, hey, I don't like this. This doesn't work for me. You know, I'm not, critical's fine. I just ask that you be thoughtful. That's my only request. Cheers. Yep. LEC time managed influence length buff, freezing buff, countdown altogether for a time. Yeah, well, anyways, that's the whole conversation. I am going to head off for now. Oh, God damn it. Okay. We don't have time for this. I have been Elliot Forsteron. You've been you. I will see you guys very soon. Stay safe, Archons. Bye.